All right, I know I'm live, you all. Okay, all right. Shalom, shalom, Sister Deborah, prophetess in the wilderness. And you know what? That's all right with me. Coming again on this Deborah platform with another message. And I will say it. This is a lovely evening in which the Most High Yah has made. And I, Sister Deborah, will and shall rest therein. Just coming this evening with a little something something, and I'm going to start titling my message "Warning." Warning. Not all of them, but I'm gonna put that on just about the majority of the messages is warning because I think that we need more so warning than anything. We heard so much of what is called the word uh, on every side, and right now you tend to wonder about what's really going on. So much word has been blown out of proportion and has been on every corner. There are those who've been on here for quite some time. They just rerouting the same thing over and over and over. It reminds me of the beast himself or the wicked one that wants to instill things in us. So they got to keep putting the same thing over and over and over. Is there light to what they're saying? No. Is it anything righteous to what they're saying? No. It's just what they do. And you have a lot of people on here that's like that. People misunderstand and it's they do. I call it not misunderstanding, but they misinterpret. No, I ain't gonna say misinterpret. I will say they misunderstand uh, Yah versus the mindset of the world. They caught up in the world, but calling it Yah, in Yahweh's and Yah word, in which they teach, and they been teaching for a long time on this devil platform to where they mentally, spiritually, more so than anything, messed up on the floor. And I love the Most High because He allowed them to think that they all that answer. But the day of judgment is going to, and not just the day of judgment, the times that we're about to go into, that we are in, a lot of it, the fire in which they're going to be tried by, it's going to level them off to the point where they're going to see that they are not all that they thought they were. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I thank the Most High for the fire that He is producing as I speak. And I thank Him for that because just being here and seeing His judgment, understanding His judgment, knowing that His judgment is present amongst the whole house of Israel, and they see not, they see nothing. They think it's just time to party hardy in the world mindset. Anytime you teach us everything that's going on with individuals in the world, and we in such a critical time where people are needing some light in the midst of all this darkness, or people are needing some spirit and truth being spoke to their spirit, and one don't have that, so it gives the people all darkness, and they don't understand the difference from when they teaching in the darkness versus when they teaching in the spirit. And the powerful thing is it that Yah lets that which is in the dark be in the dark, and that which is in the light be in the light. He's not finna go and make the darkness see that they're in darkness. No, no, he's saying they've been in there for so long that they want to believe they're in the light. So you couldn't tell them that they are walking in the darkness because they think for so many years they believe and they feel that they are in the light. And they're there to shine on you. They're there to tell you something that you don't know that's going on, especially the issues in the world today. They are thick and it's real. Sister Deborah got a list of things that she wants to talk about, and some of the things touches on what is going on in the world, but I'm gonna bring it to the light side too. See, when you're talking, you don't want to sit and show that in any way or participate in any way that fulfill the need of this platform for the devil. No, no, you do the opposite. You speak on the opposite in a way that people can see the light that's resting in the midst of darkness, but darkness can't comprehend the light. You see, nor will darkness take on the light. They're enjoying the darkness. They don't want no part in the light. And we can't take the rest of our lives trying to get darkness to see in the light. This is what the Most High is calling the elects, to pull away from darkness and let darkness do what it does best. Because there are millions of people on these devil platform really thinking they're teaching the word of Yah in the light. No, they're teaching the word out of their flesh understanding, their flesh wisdom, and their flesh knowledge. So therefore, the flesh is teaching them everything. I mean, they're learning everything in their fleshness in the midst of their darkness. And to them, they think they've seen the marvelous light. Somebody said something to me that was very potent, because they're thinking because the Most High is allowing them to see things that's taking place, that is the Most High Yah, counting them to be righteous. And this is what is very confusing to me. And it's not confusing, it's more embracing, because it leads me to understand why people have been on this devil platform talking the same old talk, walking the same old walk for so long, and loving it. And then they try to dance around what the beasts say they're not supposed to say. It's deep to me how one can dance around everything that's going on. No, they can dance with everything going on in the world. But when it's time to dance with the beast, they rather dance with him than around him. So what they do is they make sure they do follow all the protocol of the beast, but yet get on this devil platform and spread everybody else's information. It's deep to me. It is so deep. How is it that you can dance with the beat of the beast, but then walk around all kind of circles and talk about everybody else's life and what's going on in the world? But when the beast said, don't say this, so they dance around it and dance up out of it. They're not going to inform the light of anything. They rather follow the protocol of the beast before they follow the protocol of the Most High Yah. That's how you know. He say that when you try their spirit by your spirit, and what he meaning is when you know that the Ruach HaKodesh is invested in you, he's in you, and you know that what they're teaching out of their mouths, if it's leading 20 million, know that that's still the broad gate. You see, even if it don't even have to go nowhere near a million, it can go to 10,000. They still leading the broad gate. Why? Because if it was the gate to righteous, very few will be following them. And see, that's something they'll never get, because they believe that the fruit of the spirit and everything they have is detached to where they at. They can't. Y'all said that it's no more time. We're those that are elect. It's no more time chasing after those that's in the darkness, that's misleading many of people and misleading the multitude. Don't go after chasing them and trying to get them to see a pin needle of light. Get them totally out the picture, because he have gotten them out the picture. He's going to let them reach the highest depth of their numbers and subscribers and their likes and their praise as they can possibly can go, because the beast ain't gonna let them go too far. Because I'm gonna talk about that today. I see that in what the wicked is doing in the world. They put Negroes, I say Negroes, or they might call you black or whatever. They put them in a little block box, and they make sure they put them way over here in this corner. And they thinking because they got subscribers, they doing good. You got what you got because you were able to dance with the beast. Because if you would have been dancing with the Most High Yah, you wouldn't have what you have. But for so long have you existed with the beast for so long. The beast already know, and I'm talking wicked and evil, knows that you will follow him to the end of the world. So he don't have no problem with you because you're going to dance to his music. When he tell you to slide, you're going to slide. When he going to tell you to stoop, you're going to stoop. You're going to do everything to the beast that he tell you to do. But then get on here and talk about everybody that's doing something in the world. If that's not messed up on the floor, I don't know what is. What the Father is saying is, Deborah, the people that walks in darkness, really, many of them thinking they walking in light. See, you can't be on the fence trying to hang both sides because y'all is already in the process, not in the process, already completed the will to know which side you on. And if in this day and time, in the last days, you thinking you on that fence and you gonna ride both sides because you have gotten on the fence so long, you have been on the fence for so long, you've been riding it for years and years, and y'all has been standing up there, let them ride the fence. Let them ride the fence. He said, but now, it's no more. That's it. I know who they are. They don't know who I am, because if they knew who I am, then they'll know that I am not a part of who they are. And even though they're gonna ride it into the very end, thinking that they are the one, they are the elects, they are the special. Anytime people make you feel that way, baby, let me tell you something. You are not who you think you are. So that leads me to understand and believe what he was saying about that. He was saying that if they're walking in darkness and calling it light, let them walk in darkness, Deborah, and let them call it light. Okay? Because they've been doing it for so long, is what he's saying. When you begin to walk in darkness for so long, you will not be able to distinguish light and darkness. You're going to ride the fence and be in darkness and thinking you riding over in light, especially on these platforms where you didn't really manifest your flesh to think that you this. And guess what? Many others has manifested your flesh for you. But that was all a part of Yah said, let them alone. They've been walking in darkness for too long. Don't go chasing after them. Don't go trying to put something out that they might grip onto and see the pin needle of light, because they're not. And pretty much what he's saying, if they don't see me for me, they ain't gonna see me through what you say, what you do, and how you say it, and the way you do things. They're not gonna see it because we are at that end. We are at that point where it's no returning, you guys. I'm gonna be honest with you. There's no returning, because he told me, he said, it is finished. It is finished. Why they thinking that he's his word is moving and being fulfilled? No. It's finished. You just walking it out. It's finished in him. It's finished. And by it being finished in him, it is finished in me. You know? And what I mean by that, even though I'm here, I thank him for allowing me to spend that time in the wilderness to see and understand the things that I understand now. Now we are to be teaching now the gospel of the kingdom. The gospel must be preached. The gospel is good news of the truth of Christ's power is at hand. The gospel shall be preached to all nations, and that is the good news to all nations, that the power of Christ is at hand. So when you thinking the beast is ruling and he's got this here, yeah, he doing his part that he was created for. But y'all want me to tell you that Christ's right hand, the Christ, which is his right hand, is at hand. That's the good news. That's the good news. Is Christ, the power of Yah, is at hand. Now, I want to cover some things that was put on my heart. And one was, I want to give you some idea of this new bio. this new bio that came out in December, one of the signs is fever, always cold. You're going to be always cold. You're going to always want to wrap up. It's going to cause you to want to wrap up. You're going to have some cough spells, but not heavy cough spells, but cough spells. And you're going to have a loss of appetite. Those are the four from the new bio. Okay. And these will not cease. These things are coming out to um, kill, destroy. Okay. So if you think for 1 minute they're coming uh now, or something has came out in December, it has. The good thing about something coming out in December was that the Most High had said to me that there's going to be a light on, meaning the elect's going to know that something is getting ready to hit and when it hit. Okay. That's the good thing, because it's nothing that's going to take place on this face of this earth that Yah is not going to allow his elects to know exactly what's going on to the best of what he want them to know. Let's put it like that. And so I say that that new bio that came out in December, it is a high fever, a freezing state of mind. Your mind is telling you you're cold, even though you wrapped up in all these coats and clothes, covers and heats on, but yet you're gonna feel cold. And it's going to come with a cough and a loss of appetite. I mean, when I say a loss of appetite, the type of appetite that says zero. I don't want to eat nothing. And it's coming to really destroy you. Okay. And how it's going to fit in, and it has fit in, and it's coming after not just adults, but children, babies, teenagers, middle age, elders. It's coming male and female. It's a bio. And whenever you have a bio, it's nothing you can do about it outside of what Yah can do. And he can keep that bio from trying to sniff you out. You see what you mean? Just like he told um, the devil about Job. You can do this, you can do this, but when it come down, don't, you know what I'm saying? So don't think that the Father in heavens don't have the full control over it all. He does. He has the full control over this bio. Okay. And it's a bio because it's a system that had created this, prepared this for a certain time, season, year, and it's been in the making to hit this day and time. It's been in its making, and it's going to be successful as far as how they're going to keep on pouring out more and more, and they're going to make it stronger and stronger and stronger. Okay. I want to share the outcome of uh, Charles, who I was married to for 31 years. Come back from Texas on the 26th, and he had called the ambulance and uh, went to the emergency. When my children got back, they were saying their dad wasn't there and they don't know where he is. And I said, okay, bam. First hospital I called, there he was in their emergency. And it was a hospital that only have emergency cases. And then they make room, find a place for him to be transferred over to a hospital, which is their hospital, so all of that. I need to give you all this information. This is information. When I finish talking about this, I want you to understand. I give the Most High Yah all the glory. This is truly an excellent testimony. So when I called the ER that night, and it was around about, I think it was 11, and asked did they have a Charles there, and they said Charles. They gave me his full name, and I told them yes. And I began to ask them what was going on and how long he's been there. And they said that he's in ER and he's in critical condition. He's in really critical condition. His oxygen level is so low, and they ran a lot of tests on him. Within 3 hours, I called back and asked her, well, what tests Have you had any tests that has showed anything? Oh yes, he has COVID, a severe case of cold, the bio, okay, and his oxygen level is really bad, and he's in a severe case. Viral pneumonia, viral pneumonia. That's what they say. And if you look that up, it says a common cold. But that's only thing it means. It's connected to a common cold. When you look up viral uh, pneumonia, it'll tell you it's connected to a common cold. But what the world have done, the system have connected to the bio, okay, and they say that's one of the highest level stages that many goes into when they come into the emergency. Well, what was disappointing to me was I didn't like the idea of him going to emergency the day he knew that we all was going to return. I mean, we've been gone since the 23rd of December. We came back to 26th. And in my mind, okay, wait a minute, what's going on? Because him and I have always agreed if anything go wrong, I would take care of him and he would take care of me. But somewhere in there, I felt, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna go on and shoot you the truth of the matter of this whole issue. Is the enemy knows how to come after me, to break me. Okay. Oh yeah, he know how. So I was disappointed in this man that I've known all these years that would take that step to go into the emergency, knowing that the whole routine of this whole thing that he has denied, he got fired on the job because he denied that this thing is what they said that it is. And here it is, you sitting up in a hospital, because you decided to go in. But what happened was I began to battle a situation with why did he do that? Now it become about me. Even though he's sick and he has gotten its bio, every last one of us that had been in that house had that same thing. And I told them what to do. And everybody is doing fine. After their fourth day, that's it. You see? But him, the one that totally against all of this, I'm now feeling, okay, this is about me. Because the devil don't care about people who are not walking in the light. He don't care. He know he got you. He got to find those who are walking in the light so that he think he can stop you. But he don't understand. Once you're walking in the light, you can't turn to the darkness. That's how ignorant he is. But what I did is it became about me, because now I know that anything that has to do with this man, I'm the one that's going to have to step into any and every situation. I will be the one. And it bothered me for him to put me in a situation where the enemy was coming to destroy me. But I knew about that. Even when it come down to my children, I'm going to tell y'all something. Your family members will be the cause of your very life if you don't step your butt in that light and stay in there. Let me tell you why. It's so many scriptures telling you in days how they going to take each other out, family. And they going to turn you in. Turn you into what? The wicked. See, you see what I'm saying? They're not, he didn't think of, okay, well, no, me and her done talked about this. And if I go in here, I know it, I won't come out. Why? Because you passed the age. You fall under the criteria of what they looking for. And you walking in knowing the whole situation and how it would turn out. So at that moment, it wasn't about him. It was about me. So now the next step is to go down and go to the altar of the Most High Yah. Never let nobody tell you can't go to the altar of the Most High Yah. When you go to that altar, you just got to make sure you say in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach. Let him know you come in his route. Okay? Don't go up to him all your way, the way you want to go, and bring in your fat flesh all in it. No, you got to go in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach. Father, I'm coming unto thy throne. Because he know that HaMashiach is his right hand will bring you. Okay, what is it? See, a lot of people don't know that the right hand of Yah is Hamashiach. They don't know that, and they ain't going to know it. That's why he's still saying today, like he said in Hosea, they perish because the knowledge is simply not there. Okay, so what happened was he went in, and the nurse, she was really nice. Her name was Pam. But when she called me and told me later on that night, one of the tests came back that it was viral pneumonia. Okay, I looked it up and I said, okay, it says cold. It starts from a common cold. And I was thinking about how I was begging him not to wrap up in all those covers and have that heat on so hot, and I was like, he was doing everything I asked him not to do. And that's very hard for me because when the enemy comes, you're going to notice in this day and time, and even time past, if you can think back then, everything that's right, the enemy will use everybody in your household to come up against you when you know what you're saying is right. Okay, so he's in the hospital. Guess what? The first thing they did was hook him up to the medication that I have been educated to understand what it is. Only reason why I understand and know what it is because when Yas is talking about if you knock, the door is answered, the door is open, and it's going to be open. And if you seek, you shall find. And if you ask, it shall be given. Remember that word, given. Why? Because those all are connected to what he can give and gave you. Okay? So when you knock, you waiting for somebody to open to what? To respond, to give you some response. You seeking, you ain't seeking just to be seeking. You seeking to get what? To get something, to find, to seeking to find. So you're finding what? Something. What does the narrow gate says? That you shall find. Very few shall find. That's asking. That's seeking. And that's knocking. You still are getting things that still have to do with give and gave. You're receiving things that still is connected to give and gave. And if you seek, what you do, you find. These are all the connections to the Most High Yah. So here it is. I'm at the point where, okay, this is why you made sure I get the information that I needed. I didn't know I was going to end up in the situation trying to go up against the system in that way. But here I am. And you think it didn't bother me? It bothered me a great deal. I felt so wrongly done, because I said, you mean to tell me this enemy can come to your loved ones and those in your family that fit, and you all up now, you get caught up in the wicked of the world? Oh, Father, no, no, I cannot deal with that. So I felt so bothered by him going there to that hospital. It just bothered me so much. It bothered me so much to the point where I could feel the enemy after me. I didn't feel that the enemy was after him. I felt that the enemy was, oh, Father, yeah, was after me. And it's all I could do was fight back. I fought back with everything that was in me, which was him. Okay, I laid in that bed and I said, I don't even want to get up. I got so much to do. He said, you don't get up. You're going to do what I have taught you and shown you to do. And I said, but I got to do this. He said, get up. I got up that morning and I was battling all kind of things to the point where I went to the computer, didn't even want to type in the information I needed to type in to get these letters out. But I thought about something he told me to say to them. When I show up the next morning, the medication you have him on, he better be off of it. I want him pulled from that medication because you know that this medication shut down the system of the kidney. And after the kidneys go, the whole organ's going down. This doctor never did say, "Oh, Miss Brown, you know that's not true." She said, "Ma'am, you're right." I'm like, when you know it, and you mean you're gonna do it? It's known to be given to those who they category as severe cases. Even if you're not a severe case, the first time you walk in there, they begin to put the medication on you. They're looking for numbers. They're still looking for numbers. And we're running around thinking this thing is a candy walk where we can get some candy somewhere. No, y'all, this thing is the end we're in. We're in the end days. So this him being in that hospital and knowing that the Father was preparing me to do this, did this. When I got out of all of it, you know what? I look back at it and I said, Father, that was easy. He said, yeah, you called on that right hand. See, that's what it was, y'all. When you call on that right hand, you understand what that right hand is. You ain't calling on Mickey Mouse, okay? Superman, Batman. You calling on the all power in the heavens and on the earth that rests in the Father. You giving him the glory and the honor because you knew. I called that right hand out. I didn't just call it like just call it out. I call it the way I knew it. Hallelujah. That's it. I called the right hand the way I knew it was, the way that I know of it. And I remember when I got up that morning, the nurse said, oh, he's in critical. He's going to be here a long time. That's what they always saying. That's what they always saying. The doctor come tell me, well, ma'am, you trying to get him out. You're going to have a hard time getting him out of here. He's on oxygen and we cannot release him. Ma'am, when I get there, that medication better be off, like I said. And I get there, I take him to another hospital myself. Oh, gave me a hard time. My heart was pumping when I got to that hospital. I was pumping because my heart was pumping because I'm flesh. I knew that if they blinked, my flesh gonna have to cut up from the floor up, and I didn't want that because I'm already trusting in the right hand. So that flesh, the heart is just pumping. Get up there. He's sitting up there with no medication. I said, that's what I'm talking about. Looked at his board. They had took him off all that, the main one. And the other two that they had the IV in. That had the medication floating through his IV. Looked over there. I said, oh, look at here. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I thought you had cold. You know, why ain't they got it on the board? Took that down. Wait a minute. I thought they said you had a viral pneumonia. Wait a minute. Where's that? I'm looking for all this. 2 days, y'all. I pulled him out. Took him home. Giving him a diet, giving him food, giving him his high blood pressure medicine. This man walking around here eating up the house. You see? Now, this is the problem. I want y'all to hear me, and I feel like I'm comfortable to say this. The reason why it became about me is because anything go down in my household, if I don't step into it, it's going to fall. It's going to fall with no doubt. Y'all know who he invested the light in. And if that light have to step into any situation, it's stepping in it to make it right, to help it. My son that I left from Texas on the 26th called me, cursed me out, and said he is going to kill me if anything happened to his father. I said, I tell you what, I'm going to make it easy for you. The Most High might make that to be what you want it to be, because his dad was still in the hospital. And I, myself, might even not even wait till you get here. I might meet you where you at. I sent a text to all his siblings and to him. That's it with Sister Deborah. My whole life have been breastfeeding babies, homeschooling children, teaching, feeding, molding, shaping, make sure they had everything they needed to start their lives. And only person they had was me. It's a powerful thing to have a father in the household, but an estranged father. Football, basketball, soccer, parents teaching, homeschooling, feeding, cooking. Everything for these children was done by me. They had a father that was estranged because I'm using the word, I hope I'm pronouncing it right, estranged father is because he didn't play with them. He didn't talk with them. He didn't counsel them. He didn't discipline them. He was just there. If they were to say, they don't call him even dad or father. He didn't call his father dad or father. He called his daddy honey man. Okay. My children, I would tell them, get it to your father, get it to your father, tell your father this, or tell your father just anything to get them to start calling him that. And what they didn't understand, they would blame me because they didn't call him father. See, whenever you the light in the house, you best be ready for all the darkness to put you in a little black box. But in that little black box, let me tell you, it's light, everlasting light. And their ignorance is, if I put her in the black box, and if we put her in the black box, that's how we'll see her. But what they did not know, while I'm in that black box, hallelujah, I had everlasting light. Hallelujah. So when my son called me, saying all these unacceptable words, I realized that was the time to let go. I realized that being what I have been, they wouldn't have made it where they are at today. And that I have to let them go. And I have to let them go like letting darkness go from light. I have to do that. Same way with the man that I've spent 30 years with, because what I see is that darkness, no matter which way it's coming to try to put out that light or destroy that light. And you all, this ain't about a fleshly thing. This is spirit. This is a spirit mission. Okay. So therefore, those that are in the dark, they just see, if I could just put out that light, then I wouldn't feel bad walking in this darkness. So see, even what took place, him going into the emergency also caused his son to respond to me. And I have been the only one, therefore. I've got him out of every issue he has gotten in. I've showed him the power of Yah in situations that is impossible for him to have gotten out without knowing that the Most High was with me to get him, to see him through from elementary all the way to high school, even in his adult life. And this is what I get. I said, okay. So the Most High told me, understand, in this day, in these last days, there's going to be 5 in the household. He's just giving you an example. 3 against 2, 2 against 3. What is he talking about? 3 against 2, 2 against 3. What is he talking about? The light, 2 indifference. He was talking about how they're going to be killing one another. They're going to go up against each other. All of this is biblical. Once you start to walk in the light and embrace the will of the Father and his purpose, and his ordained, predestined will, then you begin to say, okay, Father, things are going exactly the way you said. And don't try. It was times in my whole life that I wouldn't have dared try to break up a family setting. My youngest daughter said, Mama, I told you, you always trying to get everyone together and lovey-dovey, family. She said that to me. And I said, you know, it's time for mama to back out and back up. Let the darkness be what the darkness desire, and let the light walk in the light. It's no more trying to get wife in the light, husband in the light, sons and daughters. We can go on playing that game. If y'all ain't already placed them there, let me tell you, it's nothing you can do and nobody else. There's people right now that thinking because they out in no man's land, their house is excellent, perfect, and I'm walking right. No, no, no. You got more demonic spirits waiting to cut your tail up if you're walking in the light. If you ain't walking in light now, they gonna be everything and some to you. When you're walking in that light, you best bet your life is gonna fall according to the Father's will, based on biblical telling you in the last days. It's gonna be fulfilled. And we can go all kind of corners if we want. We can go here and we can go there. We can try to make it all. I had this child. Don't forget, Sister Deborah had 6. These are children that's, like I say, I have to say breastfed. These are children that some I homeschooled. And these are children that I made my whole life. If you all knew what type of personality that I had, and on the type of person that loves sports, and see a lot of still like sports, but love the things, activities and stuff, I shut all that down to invest in them children. The one thing I invested in them was this. This was the main thing that they would go. If I go to my grave, they'll tell you my mother gave us this. You see, I gave them what y'all had given me. But no matter what you give them, if y'all ain't giving them the light, you can keep pouring your light on them all you want. What was the 10 virgins? When they asked them to give them some of their all, you think they gave them? No, because what is for you is for you, especially when Yah has molded for you. You can't take a piece of yourself and give it to somebody else and hope that they can gain the light. No, you are a seed planter. We all are seed planters. We plant something in the hearts of, in the minds and in the hearts of people, and hope that Yah does the increase, not us. You see? So I wanted to talk about that, and that bio that he also had. Now, my daughter called and gave me the news today that he's looking really good. He's walking, he just eating, and he's doing fine. But I'm just showing you, had not the Most High. And then they said, the son said, well, why does it got to be about you? Who you think Yah's going to use? You? Your daddy been in the household with you for 29 years and ain't even spoke to you. So how is it you think that your daddy going to speak to you and tell you what they doing? Tell you what's going on? No. Who are you going to have to talk to? Who's going to have to talk to these doctors and these nurses? Who knows about this medication they putting him on to take his life? Who knows about any of that? Who is Yah going to send in there? He can send anybody he wants. He can send that doctor. He can send that nurse. But you see what they were doing. He knows what he's doing. So therefore, it has to now not be about him, but about me going in there doing the will of the Father. See, that's what people don't understand. Just because he took his tail to the hospital, not took himself to the hospital, called Lamb to take himself to the hospital. And then after, this is what hurt more than anything, y'all. This hurt me more than anything. I didn't even pick him up from the hospital. My daughter and his son picked him up. This hurt me more than anything. Every word come out of his mouth is off the chain about his experience in that hospital. And I said, Father, you see that? Now, you the one took your butt there. I'm way in Texas on my way back to Missouri. You went there. You see, do y'all see what I'm saying? I'm battling the fact that why did you do that? Yes, you were sick like all of us. How did yours get way and beyond? Everybody deals with it different. Don't get me wrong. But when you see it's something that y'all can do any and everything to it and destroy it with the blink of an eye, you don't go running into that hospital. You trust in that right hand that you know that Deborah know about it. If I don't, you see what I'm saying? I told my children time after time, I don't care what situation you get in. If you say the Yah of my mama, he'll come. He will come. I have told them that time after time. The Yah of my mama. Because that's what I believe in. That's how strong my faith is in who he is and how he can show up and show out. So him going to this hospital, to me, I knew it was about me. It was about, are you going to break? How you going to deal with them people? Are you going to tell them? How you going to do? I'm always going, listen to this, y'all. His job, I had to deal with them. You know, found out he was dealing with things on his job that was making him even sicker because he didn't want to go back to the work. That's why he went to the hospital. Because he had some issues on his job. You see, y'all, see how wicked that enemy would set you up from the floor up? But because of the Father's right hand, I thank him for stepping in to that situation with his right hand. He knew he was doing it for his daughter. He knew it. He knew it. I was doing that for my daughter. Not my son. I was doing it for my daughter. He knew it. And I praise him and I honor him and I glorify him and I magnify him because I know what that right hand is. And that's what I tell many of you all. Do your study. So when you call on that right hand, it'll be right there. See, don't go calling on something and thinking they gonna come and deliver you. If you think for 1 minute you sick, you in a serious situation, you get to calling on Yeshua. You keep on calling on Yeshua. Some people could keep calling on Jesus. Keep calling on Jesus. See if your help gonna come. One thing about it, you have to put the two together. In the name of Yeshua HaMashiach. But know who the HaMashiach is. It's the same thing, the same power that was with Yeshua. So you can't go hollering for Yeshua. And a lot of them too ignorant to even know that to this very day. Yeshua can't come help you. But if you put Yeshua and put the power behind Yeshua, then the power will come. In the name of Yeshua HaMashiach. But you can't go talking about Yeshua in the name of Yeshua. I mean, this is to me, I know a lot of people are messed up on the floor. And then they wonder why there's no healing like Yeshua was speaking of. You should do greater. Why do you think he said, and when the Holy Spirit come on you, you shall receive power? What do you think he's talking about? He said, when the Spirit come on you, you shall receive power. Hold up, Yeshua. Hold up a moment. What you mean I should receive power? I thought you was the power. See, that's one thing about I love that whole mission of Yeshua. Because it tells such an awesome plan. And Yeshua did such a wonderful job letting the elect understand that he was the blood sacrifice, that the power of Yah came down in him to let him uphold the whole mission. So if we run around here thinking we're going to come to Yah in Yeshua, you're going to be left. Now, Yeshua going to be the one that he going to tell to come collect those who got the blood splatter. In a sense, I'm saying the blood splatter. They're going to be his lamb. You know, he's going to send him to do that. How he's going to send him? Okay, Christ, go with him. Four corners, collect all the what belongs to you. Collect all your lambs. You see? So therefore, when I was in this situation, I felt it was a critical situation because guess what, y'all might not even understand this. I did not want to deal with no hospital because I knew I had to open my mouth and speak. And then I said I had to deal with the job. Oh man, it just put me in a situation that I wasn't preparing for, wasn't looking for. That just bothered me. Because I'm saying, here we are, we'll be there on the 26th. Why did he go to the emergency on the 26th? See, I was looking for the enemy. He was looking for his alternative and his way of doing what he wanted to do, but he wasn't doing it in righteous. He was doing it against me, y'all. it was against me because nothing he did, he cleared up. Y'all used me to see it through. You see, y'all could have did it through anybody, but he knew that I was his daughter, and that all my trust is only in him, and that I need his right hand for me to help in this situation, even to the point I need you to deliver him, because I can't put up with him like he is. Deliver him, Father. You see, and that's exactly what he did within a blink of an eye. I got to the hospital, and the nurse that was taking a male nurse, he say, I said, here's the affidavits telling you two things. Take him off. He's not supposed to be on this medication. He said, ma'am, they already took him off. It's you. They put all that in your file. What did he say? The night that you called up there. I said, oh, I didn't know that. The hell that they was giving me, or you ain't gonna be able to take him out this hospital, and he don't have we can't take this medicine off, he in critical condition. You know, they said that man was gonna be out of they said he ain't gonna be out of this hospital for a long time. 2 days, come on now. 2 days going on to 3. No, they rushed him out at like 11:30 that morning. So almost 3 days, 2 days and a half. They got him out of there. You see, because they weren't going to be able to fulfill him as one of the numbers, because they saw somebody that knew something. And that's no way I could have known what I've known if it wasn't for the Most High Yah. And I thank him for it, because everything Yah is teaching you all, please don't think it's about you. It's about what's taking place in the days to come. You're going to need, what is this here? There's some things on my, you're going to need that. You're going to need the strength in the right hand of the Father in the days to come. So don't turn away from him. This is not the time. It's time to walk in the light. You all, earlier today, I was listening to this female, and the first time, I think I told you a couple of videos that she had a really good message. She had a really good message this time. She had a part 1 and a part 2, and it was really good. And let me explain to y'all, when I see somebody on something, and it's something they're saying and they're talking or they're teaching a lesson or something, and if it's good, guess why it's good to me? It's good to me because the Holy Spirit had already ministered it to my spirit. I learned something out of her teaching that I didn't know. You know, all the books that, I ain't gonna say all the books. What's his name? Enoch. And Enoch, I think she was coming from Ezra, whatever that other book is. I learned something. I learned all the time. I was saying that I don't deal with all those books, and none of those books takes me to the altar of the Most High Yah, or it can't save me, it can't deliver me. Guess what? I still stay firm on that. But Yah was showing me through this lady's teaching that even though Enoch can't take you there, even though Ezra, a book of Ezra, or whatever it is, can't take you there, it takes people as close as they can get. Because I was like, Father, but you didn't take me there. You didn't even teach everything that it's so powerful, because what she's teaching, I knew about it. And I'm like, well, I know that. Yeah, that makes sense, because I understand that. I understand that. Being in the wilderness, you're taught by the Most High Yah, okay? Through his spirit, okay? There are people who are taught by people who have done their study and read till they end up mastering what they are reading, to the point where they're starting to see into what they're reading. You see? So there's 2 ways you can get it, but it still is a different way than the Ruach HaKodesh is saying, okay, Deborah, I taught you. You learned it from the horse's mouth. Furthermore, I've been dealing with you since you was a little girl. So I've been teaching you all them years. Okay, this person has gotten it through this book, but they didn't get what you got in the way that you got it. What's the difference? One is taught by man, and it's limited, and one is taught by Yah. It will be with you forever. It can't come out. See, with man, you can switch up. You can turn it this way and turn it that way. As time go on, you can switch it up. But what Yah invested in you, you can't switch up. It is sealed in you as it was taught to you through the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit ain't coming in you and switch up what it taught you. No, it's going to stay firm and it's going to stay narrow in what it teaches you. Now, when you start to hear things, and this is why I said that this individual was able to see into some of the things that I have always knew. And this individual is on the teaching the lesson and taught the lesson to where you can understand it in your flesh. You get what I'm saying? You can understand it in your flesh. And I don't know if people can really understand it in their flesh because they haven't understood it. But it's something about the way she was teaching it that made me listen to the whole part 1 and part 2 and say, wow, it feels good to hear what you've been taught. It does. It does. It just does something to your spirit that, hey, oh, you mean you know that now, or you know this. It's almost like, wait a minute, this day and time, this is coming out. What it is what you call knowledge. Remember, he said, knowledge shall be increased. Even though Enoch and Ezra book can't take you to the altar to be saved. It can't give you eternal life. It can take you to where Yah has prophesied everything. That's what it is. See, it can't take you to eternal life. It can't take you to the gate to eternal life. It can't take you to salvation. It can't take you to deliverance, but it can take you to what Yah has prophesied that shall take place. You see what I'm saying? So it'll take you to his word in which he has warned us, but not to the word where it will deliver us. You get what I'm saying? So when I was listening to it, I would say that it's good for me. The reason why it was good for me is I see that if a person take heed to what this is saying, it would correct what they have believed. And in the process of being corrected in what you believe, then you will turn to the light to receive. See, the light is different than the darkness. And if you're only learning from a book or books, then you're missing something. So the books, you can learn from the book if it's taking you to the prophecies of the Most High Yah. But it's not taking you to the deliverance and the salvation. Okay? It ain't taking you to the area of eternal life. It's only taking you to the prophecies of what is happening in the last days and why it's happening. And that's what I enjoyed, that it was able to talk about what I already, y'all keep warning me this and showing me this and showing me this from the wilderness. And here it is. She's showing in Enoch book. To learn today, I've learned that they can take you to the mountain, but Yah would have to pull you up. See, so these books don't give you the fullness. It just can take you to the mountain and Yah have to pull you up. Let's put it like that, because you can't, just because you can go to the mountain, don't mean you're going to get up the mountain. So Yah has to do some pulling up from the ground level to get you to where you need to go. And I thank him for that, because it was so deep, because what it did was it landed me exactly where I was at. And I began to say, oh, so somebody knows. Good. It feels good to hear somebody speaking what is taking place in the way Yah has taught me, you see, through his spirit. And they're teaching many, and she's teaching how Enoch and this other book, I don't know what other book it was. I thought it was Ezra. I don't know. And how Enoch was talking about the last days. But understand this. No one is greater than the Ruach HaKodesh. No one can teach you beyond the Ruach HaKodesh. He said, I come to teach you all things. So no matter what books or what kind of books, but it was a blessing to know that Enoch and the other book was telling you exactly what's taking place today, just as the Holy Spirit warns you each day. That's if you're walking in the light. He's showing you things each day. So what it is she's saying in the book, showing you where we are actually at and what's actually taking place today. So I really enjoyed that. I really did. I really enjoyed that. That was the second time that I enjoyed a message from her. They last long, but if you hang in there, you'll see the outcome of it. You see, and what I was learning, I was like, I was just overjoyed that Yah would allow Enoch in the other book to kind of tell you where you're at. It can't deliver you. It can't bring you in the light. It can't bring you salvation. Okay. But it can bring you to the mountain and Yah can take you from there. Okay. Now, the other one was, and I thought that was really good. I really did. You know what I was trying to understand? I want y'all to understand. If you see someone on uh internet and they're talking about the jab and they're talking about the code and they're talking freely, understand those are agents. Those are agents. Those are people who have been paid to deceive and manipulate as many as possible. Because I sit back and I was like, why is it that these Caucasian people are on here allowed to talk about the jab and the code without getting censored or out or without even muzzling or their mouths in any way? But then you see another group of people that anytime you would say something, they make sure you you are limited to what you're saying. And I think that's very powerful to me. I think that's something worth looking into and who you think you serving, because I'm like, why are these people are approved to say anything about the jab and the code? But because they even give you impression that they're against it, but then if you listen to them carefully, they really advertising it and telling you in the long as you listen more and more to it within that speech and what they're saying, you'll see that they are with them. So they have approved many of them on these platforms as agents. And if you see people on here and they talking about all this lady did this man did this, everybody talking about everything in the world and won't cover what is really out to kill, steal, and destroy, then something's wrong. There's something wrong somewhere. And the reason why I say that is because how could, to me, is I'm calling them agents because anytime you can get on here and talk about everything and then you bow down to talking about the thing that everybody needs to hear about because it is what's killing and destroying people, and you dance around that, I believe there's many on here that are agents and people been following them for a long time, and have gotten away with feeding people what they want to feed them, and they're not really giving anyone any light. They're not really giving anyone anything that leads to spirit and truth. They just giving them enough to feed them and go to the next one and pull out another one that has to surround the world and everything. It's nothing wrong with telling issues that's going on in the world. We see them on the news and everything. They lie. So if the news lie, CNN lie, and every how would I say, media, all they are is a bunch of lies. What makes you think that those on here that's telling you about the same issues are not liars? See, that's the thing about it. People put them on pedestals and don't understand. Wait a minute now. Let's talk about this thing that taking lives, and is what this beast doing, and what's this here code is, and what this jab. What should we do? No. They ain't gonna talk. They ain't gonna go that route. They ain't gonna go nowhere near it because they don't want the interference of the beast control to tamper with no food on their table. because a lot of them are living based on this platform and Facebook. I mean, y'all don't know that, but a lot of people are, and they don't care if they surviving with little. They're making it work with whatever they getting, and got you all thinking they doing this, but God says He sees it all and knows it all, and that's what's wonderful in the days to come. So we're not going to escape none of it. A lot of they're raising the numbers of the what this is something that I would be lost the rest of my life in. How could they say that a lot of people are dying and we here living it and don't see this? How could you say a lot of people are have the cold? How could you say those that have received the jab 3 times, now they talking about the 4th time, are not catching it? From what I'm hearing, they're the only one catching it and spreading it. But that's the way they're doing it. And I don't understand. That's how it's being spread from what many are saying. But they're blaming it on those who have not received. How is it that they're being able to lies or being able to go out and no one look at it and say, well, that's a lie. They lie. It's just like, to me, it's like, oh, it makes sense. Okay, yes. He said to me, I'm going to say to y'all what he said to me, that the strength of the minds and hearts of people have given it the strength to lie, to manipulate, to deceive. And that's where it gains its strength on people. They can get, once they get, remember they got you fearful and they had you in control. Once they can get you believing the lie and catering to the lies, they got you. It's the power of the wicked. It's strength, and it's built up on lies, manipulation, and deceiving. And when the people join in on that, that's what giving him so much power. Much power. Is people feeding into something that's a lie. That's the only thing that makes so much sense to me, is what will be the purpose of all this lying, y'all? What will be the purpose of all this lying? Is it gives strength to the evil and wicked and the beast. Lying, deceiving, manipulating, stripping people from their strength, putting fear, and getting them under control. He got them. That's it. That's what's breathing this thing. Because I'm like, but everything's a lie. I remember it was a time when they was talking about the 5G. It's going to be a time when you're not going to even be able to talk about that, because that's finna go into effect. But, people who needs this 5G, people who needs this internet, the first thing they don't want you to talk about is this. They don't want you to talk about 5G or nothing that has to do with that. You know why? Because they know that it's connected to what they need. And they don't want to hear nothing bad about it. They don't want to even think that it carries strength and power. They don't want you to even come there. The phones, people, I don't know about you all, but have y'all noticed phones start acting up even worse December the 30th and 31st into this year? Phones. Have you all phones start acting up? I've heard hundreds of people within the last 2 days. Something going on with their phone. It's all a part of the, like you said, control. And and once they can get you under control to believe a lie, cater to their lie, support their lie, speak their lie, walk their lie, talk their lie, they got you. You're giving them strength. You know how you see a picture of them on a movie that you see these monsters, and only way they get strength is through fire or through electric. Well, this is how this beast is performing. It's based on the strength, your power of your right, mind, of your right, having the right mindset. You're feeding them. They feeding the people lies, and the people are feeding back the lie. You see, so that the enemy can gain the strength that he needs to survive and to keep it going. You have to call that thing a lie, because I'm gonna tell you something. All these debts that they say they having, all these people with cold catching in it, all that is a lie. It is a bio, and people are catching the bio V that they spread. And it's gonna be another one and another one and another one until they come out real strong to really nail it. Oh yes, they're gonna come. And this is what Yah has to do with. He has to do with, when he sung those horses, he told them they can only go certain places. Yah's, no matter what they put out, his elects, it ain't gonna move them. It ain't gonna move them. So what's gonna move them? What's gonna interfere with the elects? Their loved ones. Their loved ones. That's what's gonna affect the elects. Those that they love. I'm sorry to tell you that, but it's even biblical. You see, but I want to instill in you all, right as Sister Deborah speak, the gospel, the good news of Christ is at hand. That means the power of Yah is at hand. That's going to do what it does. And that's good news for somebody like me, because it's about time. It's about time, you know. So the gospel of the power of Yah is at hand. The gospel of Christ is at hand. And then showtime. So that is what the gospel is. It's the power of Yah, which is Christ, is at hand as I speak. So the other day I was telling you about he's going to bring fire. He is. You'll see it. No, I can't say that. I can't say that you'll see it if you're in darkness. You might feel it, but see it, you might not. You might feel it before you're able to see it. So I wanted to speak on that one there. And stay with, he said, spirit and truth. Seek that which is spirit and truth. And what is spirit and truth? It's the word coming in a form. And it's spirit and truth challenge everybody that's teaching on this Deborah platform, even Sister Deborah. It challenged me. Spirit and truth. Well, okay, if you're going to get this here, where's the spirit in it? Where do the spirit rest there in? And where's the truth in that which rests in the spirit? You see, a lot of things we are in tune with has no spirit and truth in it. It just has flesh wisdom, flesh knowledge, and flesh understanding. But because of the gospel being preached in this day where we're at, the gospel of Christ, which is the power of Yah, is at hand. And if you don't be able to behold it, you will, but you might have to really feel it through the sorrow. But don't take it to heart. You might have to feel the gospel of the power of Yah is at hand through sorrow. And don't be offended and don't be sorrowful for it. Know that it is the will of the Father. What he tell me, Deborah, this need be. This has to be this way. So don't take it to heart. Sister Deborah told you a couple of days ago that he's bringing the fire. And when he brings the fire, it ain't coming to play with you. It ain't coming to make you think all is well. I know everybody want to go back to normal and think that all is well. But guess what? I'm going to give you something that's really good. With Sister Deborah, in spite of all that he's shown me that's coming, that's here, guess what? When he is greater in me, that endurance spirit helps me to embrace it different. You see what I'm saying? It helps me to say, okay, he got this. He got this. It helps me to embrace it. When Charles called the ambulance and went into the hospital, I knew right then this didn't have nothing to do with him. This has to do with me. And because the endurance spirit, even though my heart was beating fast, that was my flesh, but my spirit was content that the right hand was going to take the place of anything that needed to be done. And he was going to wipe that slate. And I'm telling you something, y'all. This is what you call a miracle. This is what you call power. It's when he step in there and you don't have to do nothing. But look, and that's how I did when I walked in. Oh, everything is ready for me. All I presented was the papers. And what happened when I presented the two affidavits papers to the hospital? What happened? The nurse turned around and said, ma'am, it's already in the file. It's already in the file. I said, well, here is 2 copies. Take it. What he's saying is they wrote it in the file to take him off. That was one. And that I have to say so over his medical condition. It's already in the file. That's what the nurse, that shows you that here it is. They didn't school this nurse. I know he comes in, he take over after one nurse, but the one that he took over must have told him that lady ain't no play. Because when I got in there, he was like, oh, ma'am, it's already been taken care of. See, that's the power of the right hand. And I know that it is. I know it ain't me. It's the power of the right hand. It said, you did you call me? Did you call me? What's the problem? What? Oh, this is so beautiful. What you call to me this time of night? That's so beautiful, to walk in a situation like that. And at that moment, they didn't even tell him he could go home. They told him he was going to go home that night. And he called. They said, I can go home. Then the nurse going to get on the phone. Yes, you can come pick him up. I said, all right. Oh, boy, come to know him for what he is. I'm telling you, because that y'all just, I thought, hey, okay, Father, here I am. He done went in that hospital now. So I'm just saying this. It's just that in this day and time, where we're at and where we're going to be, ain't nothing going to go back to norm. Okay. Know that the Father have all power. Okay. In Christ. Okay. And that if you have to call on it, believe that it is what he said it is. I mean, that it's all power. It really is. And I appreciate him doing that because I needed that at that moment. All eyes were on me negative, and I didn't care about what eyes was on me negative. Now it's my fault. Somebody in the hospital. You see how? Let me tell y'all something. I don't care what goes on with the 6 adult children I have, or with my ex. No matter what goes on, guess whose fault it is? I'm going to share that with y'all. Mine. Say, for instance, I'm in my store and they have a car accident. Guess whose fault it is? Mine. Say, for one is out at work and they get fired. Guess whose fault it is? Mine. Everything is my fault. And that's sad, isn't it? Just imagine me having to live like that. Everything is always my fault. You lose your wallet, it's my fault. You didn't pay your bills, it's my fault. And as a mother who raised and gave her life, gave, and constantly give, I told him, don't look for me to give you nothing else. It stops here. And I mean it. And I'm going to stick to it. I don't care. I don't want nothing from you. And you ain't going to definitely get nothing else from me. And what they thinking is every time everything break down, every time this here happen, oh, she going to deliver me out of it, or she going to come get me, or she going to bring me, make sure it work out. No. That's it. That's it, y'all. It's time to stop feeding darkness, even if it is your wife, even if it is your husband, even if it is your mother and your father, even if it stop feeding all of those that's living in darkness and they don't have your light at hand. The reason why I said that, that's what I told mine. I said, I'm gonna tell y'all from now on, I'm dealing you strictly on spirit and truth. I'm not coming down to the level of your flesh no more. That's it. Everything gonna be spirit and truth. I'm coming strictly out of here through the Ruach HaKodesh. I ain't coming nowhere else. Anything else, you go somewhere else. Get out of my face. Because I'm coming strictly spirit and truth. And if you can't handle that, that's your issue. Don't come to me. And I'm going to do that from now on, the rest of my life. Because I see that it is a war. It's night out here. You remember when he said, when Yeshua come, it's going to be night. It is. And that night just not meaning dark. It means it's the darkness going to be that high level. Darkness, evil and wicked. See, a lot of people thinking it's just talking about the night of the evening and the night. No, it's talking about that time. But it's also giving you a hint that it's talking about how bad and wicked and darkness it's going to be out here. It's like that already. Because 99.9 can't even see it. And I'm like saying, but Father, wait a minute now. If they can't see it, then they're going to keep doing that which is in dark. He said, yes, they are. They ain't going to stop. It ain't meant for them to stop. That's why you see people still following people no matter what they say and how they say it or what they say that's not feeding their spirit. They still follow because it's darkness that they're following. And a lot of people think it's light. They really think it's light. It's time to know the light for who he is and walk therein. It's time to walk therein because all the chaos that's going on. I just heard on 3 today, father killed a son and 2 sons killed their parents. Today. That's deep. I'm telling you all, if you can't see what is before you all, now if he says his judgment has been out and the beast's right hand is in the judgment, that means the chaos is going to be so thick. So now we're running into a level of the fire. It has to be this way, you all. Because what I'm gonna tell y'all as a prophet is in the wilderness, this is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing people not giving the rats behind what's going on. They don't care about no light, they don't care about no dark, they don't care. We don't care about nobody killing and stealing and raping and parents losing their life. He prophesied that for thousands of years. We ain't care then, we don't care now. But what it's telling you is where you at. Get up, get to the light. This is where you at. Killing your parents. It said that in there in the last days. Father killing children. It said that in the last days. Brother killing brother. It said that in the last days. But you ain't going to hear mothers killing nothing. You know why? Because women are killing their children. They are killing their children, but not at the level or the capacity that the men are committing what they're committing. So I'm like, okay, Father, when you was teaching me, you were saying me and this and me and that, me and this and me and that. I said, but in the last couple of weeks, everything I read says men. He said, Deborah, because I've been talking to them for a mighty long time. When I heard about the woman womb, it's what you see. You all don't even understand. I taught it, I think about a couple of weeks about the woman's womb being the matrix. Why it's the woman's womb is so important. And then I was telling you all about her womb is the matrix. And then I said, oh, when I went to New York, every sign has that womb. And I thought that was really evil and wicked. And I get here, all the university has that womb. And I'm like, wait a minute. Then I did my search to see all the other pictures that had this wound. I'm like, that's why you see Starbucks with the lady with the star and her legs open. You all don't understand. Man has been interfering with the woman's womb because the devil knows where life resides. And this is what this lady was getting deep in, what Enoch was saying. regarding this. And then I'm sitting here saying, okay, this is what this lady was teaching today. When I told you I listened to her part 1 and part 2. And when I heard her say that, I thought about when I was in New York, and I kept saying, Father, why is it everything is her wound? And then he was teaching me how her wound is the matrix. Everything he bringing down from the heavens has to come through her womb. His. You see, and the enemy has found other ways to use this wound to portray the matrix of Yah's design. And Sister Deborah was on this Deborah platform begging and saying to y'all, do y'all not see the hatred Pastor Dowd is teaching these men? Y'all don't see the hatred of these men teaching these men to hate women. And I just couldn't get in my spirit people to really think about that. That's how I felt in my spirit. And I still feel that way. And now it makes sense. Enoch was talking similar, the same way. The importance of a woman's womb. I knew it was something. What is it with woman that y'all are so bent out of? And then the things she was teaching, I was like, wait a minute. That's what I was saying to several of these men that been on this devil platform. Y'all need to stop that line. I used to say that over and over. Realize I said, back out. Y'all said this need be. But now you hear it, and they've been following Enoch. And it shows you, if not Enoch, if you was following Enoch, you would have known who her womb was. You would have known what I know. That shows you, I don't care what book that you read until the Ruach HaKodesh teach you, you still damned. You are still damned. Because this thing come by spirit and by truth. And what you mean, Deborah? He said, he that has an ear, which is one, let him hear. Who is that one ear? The Ruach HaKodesh. Hear what the Ruach is teaching you. That's what that's all about. He that has an ear, let him hear. Who do have what ear? The ear to hear the Ruach HaKodesh teach them. You see, so I'm sitting here saying to myself, all this stuff that in this 3-4 years I've been on this Deborah platform, all of it is manifesting itself so clearly. And it's like I'm seeing it and I'm like, oh, wow. I realize how close I have been nailing it through the teaching of the Ruach. You see, I wasn't nailing it to the teaching of nothing but the Ruach HaKodesh. That's why I got to give him praise. I got to give him honor. I got to worship him in spirit and truth. I have to. Listen, he have proven himself to me since I was a little girl. How stupid would it be for me to wait to now and deny what he had proved to me that he is, that he was, and that he's going to be? It's just too many times. I would trust in him. I would not think that I can do anything to use him or to portray that I'm something that I'm not. I don't want that. I don't want, and I desire not to be a hypocrite. I don't want to be role playing and putting on clown clothes, so I can make somebody think I'm somebody that I ain't. Because if your heart is not right with him, I don't care what you put on. I don't care what you wear. I don't care what you do. If your heart is not right with him, you messed up from the floor up and still don't know it and walking in darkness. See, we can always fool the outer man. We can put on anything to fool the outer man. But can we fool what is in us? No. And a lot of people also have to wake up to this here truth. The truth of the matter is there's a difference from the old and the new. The old, he was upon them. There's something greater than upon. Now he is in us. So if people who have mastered the biblical word and really believe they can nail it, they first have to nail it with the whole mindset that it's different in the old than it is in the new. Because the old, he wasn't in you. Okay? And that's what Yeshua was saying. Hear me out. Yeshua said he did miracles and signs and wonders. But he said, you shall do greater. Why? Why would we do greater than him? It's because that power that was in me, which was Christ, he's coming to get in you and remain there. And you should do greater. See, he ain't coming to go in and out, out and in and out. Now, you sure he's letting you know, I must go. Why? Because he knew that Christ had to go up and then come back. Usher us to Ruach HaKodesh. And we are going to receive the power that Christ, Yeshua, had. And he said we should do greater. Why ain't we doing greater? It's because we are bombarded with all these different websites and media that wants to talk about everything in the world except for that which is spirit and truth, that which holds the power to heal a lot of things that we are in, we're playing in, and everything. But you know what? Guess what? That power still exists in you. It ain't gone nowhere. It ain't gone. You have to activate it by believing with the faith that he has instilled in you. You have to use that power. I don't care where you go. Use it. It's real. I've used it too many times to know. And I wouldn't sit here and tell you that it's not true and it's not real, because it is. I used it too many times. Too many times. Even a couple of times I used it and I didn't think it was going to bring out that type of strength. But when I used it, let me tell you, it brought that power full force. Full force. Now what you got to say? You know, now what you think you're going to get up this time? Now what you got to say? Don't tell me what it won't do. You think he going to get up now, Deborah? I tell you what. Now what you got to say? I have always said, even with my kids, they don't even know who they're messing with. Let me have to get on these knees. That's what I told the doctor and the nurse. Don't let me have to get on these knees. I told the nurse, your whole house will be changed. Because the moment I cry out, and I'm going to tell y'all that's why you all probably don't even understand why I always telling y'all that he's all that answer. Because I tried him for myself. I know what he's capable of doing. He don't play with me, first of all. I accepted his chastising, his discipline, his judgment, because he have corrected me in every way. And I ain't ashamed to say it. Because that same one that delivered me will chastise me as well. And I ain't ashamed to say it. But I've tried him for myself. He's proven himself to me. I've seen him face to face. A lot of people don't even know what face to face means because they never know who Christ was. They never knew who that right hand and that stretched out arm was. They never knew what all power was. They still here in darkness, calling it everything that makes people feel comfortable receiving. And they ain't receiving nothing. They ain't receiving nothing. I'm a living testimony. I remember, I don't know if y'all ever heard of McDonnell Douglas Aircraft. When I used to work for them, that makes the fighter planes. I used to work for them. Okay. And I had this issue because I was a chef, and the head chef was this Caucasian man, and he was redhead, but he was so racist. And with me, I was the person that always quiet, humble, stay off to myself. You would even never known that. And I didn't deal with nothing, you know. And when I saw him doing things to people, people was telling me he racist and he treat black people. And then I started to see him doing things. And I said, oh, okay. And then I started to see him being negative toward me. I said, bro, you can't do that. You got the wrong one. I didn't say that to him. And when I saw him doing that, actually saw him at work with trying to make it hard for me, I went to the altar. I went all the way to the altar in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach. I went to the altar of the Most High Yah. And don't let nobody ever tell you you can't go to the altar, because you can. Everybody that came in time past have been to the altar when they cried out to the Most High, wanting to hear directly from him. That's going to the altar. And I went to telling him, now you see. That's all I tell him. Now you see what they doing to me. You see what he doing? Father, do you see what he is doing to me? I'm giving it to you. I'm putting it in your hand. That man tried so many negative things, everything, because I knew my next stage was to speak in a way that I knew that I would get in trouble speaking. So I told the Most High that this is an issue for you, out of hand. And a couple of people there were telling me that this guy, he was having a hard time because his wife and his daughter decided to join this church, and they be there all the time. And he's not getting any time with his wife or something in his child or something. And something about they were going through separating or whatever, but they were still. This is what people were telling me before what took place. And next thing I know, that was it. He had to leave the job. He had to leave the job because he couldn't handle what took place next. Okay, he couldn't handle that. It was said that her and her daughter was coming back home from church. And they had a horrible accident. He never showed up again at that job that he had been working with for years. Blessed be the name of the Most High Yah. He is a protector of his. He is a protector. And a protector. Let me tell you what. I didn't last no more than, probably 3 months after that. I ended up getting another job anyway, a better job. But I'm just still saying, I remember that being one of the first time I called on the Most High Yah. And when I called on him, I say to him, "Did you see what they doing? You see what they doing to me?" And that's the reason why this guy, he was getting other people in the department. He was saying things. Now, they wasn't threatening my job. It was just the way he was treating everybody in the place. And me confronting him, and he showed a lot of racist uh, spirits that was in the midst of him. I mean, they said he had that type, but I looked at it like that. He ain't never done it to me. But when I saw him manifesting his hate so heavily and trying to sabotage my job itself, I said, "Okay, Father, you see him? You see what he doing?" Oh, and I was young. How old was I? I couldn't have been no more than 23, something like that. And that was the only time. That was my first time going before the Most High, realizing I could call on him. And I can call on him. Only thing about it, when you call on him and you pray and you wanting him to overtake something that you can't handle, you can still yet say a prayer for them, the one that bring evil towards you. You see what I'm saying? You can still send prayers out on their behalf and then release it to the Most High Yah. Let the Most High Yah do what he does best. So that's when I realized the power in the words that I could say that would cause the Father right hand to step in. That's why when I was dealing with Charles being in the hospital, it became about me, because I'm finna call on his right hand to make sure everything comes out. Because had not, the night that they started him on that medication, he wouldn't have last. He wouldn't have last. He wouldn't have last. Um, just that thought. And when you think of that, you think about how the Father's right hand. I just, all I want to say to you all is I just thank Him for who He is. That's why I stand firm on who He is and what He has been to me. I don't know what He's been to you. I know what He's been to me. He's proven Himself to be all that and some. So that's why I stayed firm on spirit and truth and walking in the light. And anything in between there is just there. Because when it all said and done, I know that I have to continue looking in the light and walking therein. And when I'm speaking, make sure it's carrying the spirit and truth of the whole matter. Because when it's said and done, y'all's word gonna walk itself out. It is walking itself out, whether we like it or not. Whether we want to pretend that, oh no, they doing this and they doing that. You can say they doing whatever you want, but it's still walking His word out. Everything is going forth and being what He said that it's going to be and the way that He's going to be. When you learn to have respect for that, you learn to walk with Him, not against Him, not ahead of Him. And I think today, in where we're at today, many people are walking so far ahead of Him till they can't even see none of His moves in the back because they didn't went ahead of Him, thinking that they have the authority and the right to walk ahead. But I suggest stay behind Him and at a distance so you can see His every move. And you can trust in His move. If He say to go left, you can see Him going left, telling you direction left. You say go right, you see you going right. But if you're all up in front of Him, running ahead of Him, you you done master this word, and you ain't got time to even hear. And that's what's going on on these platforms. People just all over the place. And they don't have no problem. But the Most High spoke to me and told me it's okay, Deborah. It's because they're in the darkness. The darkness ain't got time to listen to nobody. They ain't got time to hear nobody because they think their darkness is what is righteous. They think their darkness is wisdom and knowledge, and their darkness is understanding. But it is wisdom and knowledge, and it is understanding in their flesh, but they're walking therein. None of what they're saying carrying any power. Okay? Nothing what they're saying carrying any light, nor spirit and truth. Anyone have any questions? Hello, everyone in the live chat. You heard about that fire, didn't you? Yep. It's in there, ain't it? And I'm going to tell you the truth. I didn't know it was in there until I read it a couple of days ago. I was like, oh, Father, this is something, here it is. Yes, it is. But you notice, you're not going to hear anybody talk about that. They're not going to talk about it. I don't care how long they've been on this devil platform. They ain't going to talk about that fire. He's proven Himself to you too. That's wonderful. That is wonderful. So you know what He can do. Fulfilling all that He said. Be a wise servant. I know that's right. Yep. And He said, do you know He said that throughout the whole Old Testament and in the New Testament? They say they see, but they cannot see. He said they say they hear, but they cannot hear. Now, who are these people doing that, y'all? Can somebody in the live chat tell me, who is He saying say they see, but they cannot see? Say they hear, but they cannot hear. Who do you think He's talking about? Who are those people He say, Deborah, they say they see, but they cannot see. They say they hear, but they cannot. You can find that in the Old Testament as well as the New. Who are these people He's talking about? Let me get it. Oh, Derman. And if anybody you know on that medication, let me get it so I can make sure I spell it right. Hold up. I'm gonna go pick it up. Anybody that you know go to the hospital, whether friend, family, neighbors, make sure you tell them to make sure they don't put them on that medication. You have every right. Mm-hmm. And if you need an affidavit or a letter, make sure you contact Sister Deborah, and I can show you my letter so you can get the right information of knowing the process. And I do. You all, I want to tell y'all, I really, 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 really thank the Most High for educating me on that, allowing me to be educated on that. Because, like the doctor said, she said, yes, you're right, but we got him on two of them. I said, I don't care how many you have him on, I want him off. See, they know that. Let me tell y'all what's the kick to it, and then make so you can understand. When this thing first came out, you see them bodies getting out of there, coming. What they were doing, putting them on this medication, shutting their whole system down, won't use their body, putting them in that oxygen thing. I mean, not that respiratory thing, whatever that thing they put on, life support machine or whatever they want to call it. They put them under there. They get this medicine shot in. The instant that medicine begin to destroy kidneys. Okay. In the process of starting the kidneys begin to release a lot of fluid, and the other organs drown from all. The kidneys goes out, then the other organs start shutting down. Okay. Now, this might. Here it is. Do your search. You better do your search. And let me tell you what they did with this here. Let me tell you what they did with this. I don't care if they boot me off. I'm going to tell y'all something. This was developed by Dr. F. Y'all know who that is. And don't go over to Africa, y'all. And don't let nobody feed into you, the motherland. Don't let nobody feed no mess into you. Africa is the most sickest continent on the face of the earth to me. When I say sick, it is so much wicked and evil that they do on this continent. There was a time where the kids were needing food. They was starving and they was malnutrition and they needed medical care. Those doing own people was keeping them from getting food and medical care and letting them all die. Well, they let Mr. F, y'all know who that is, come over there and shoot them people who had Ebola. And 3,000 died after this was injected. Do your study, y'all. Do your study. You might not find nothing. They erasing everything. They might even erase Sister Deborah's page. And you think I care? No. So, here it is again. Write down. If you have to go to the hospital, make sure they don't put that in your system. Okay? Don't put it in there, baby. So, what they did is, the reason why it proclaimed that an Ebola broke out in Africa is so they can practice using this. Very successful. Very, very successful for taking 3,000. It was way more than that African lives. It worked. This here was shot in those who had Ebola, and they all died within days. So they decided to bring this. That was their test. That was their test site. And you all stop being so naive, not know that they always use Africa for a test site. There ain't nothing in nobody in Africa ever had nothing they owned unless they sold out to the system. It's a country that buy into a lot of things that's going on. And if you see those who are there who have more than what others don't, it's because a lot of them sold out toward their own people. It's a land that's known for that. It's known for that. It got some good. Don't get me wrong. But let the Spirit of the Most High minister to you. A lot of voodoo, a lot of things that's going on over there. And always did a start of a lot of old mess. But then they got you thinking that all go there, motherland, mother your land where it belongs. A woman's womb is a motherland. In case you didn't know that. That's why he called the earth her. See, nobody don't understand because he bring what? Forth what is needed. Same thing with a woman and her womb. So with this here, with that medication, they took him off. Now listen to this, y'all. They told me that he had viral pneumonia. How could he have had that? Soon as he got in there, that's what they said he had. Oh, one of the tests showed he got. Wait a minute. The next day I get up there, a next 24-hour day I get up there. No, it's the next 24 hour, a day and a half because it was past the day. So about a day and a half I get up there. Well, why ain't that on the board? Huh? Well, what's going on? I already knew. But when I looked at the board, I said, Father, look at that hand. You didn't done the job. My thing is, I saw something else. And my thing is, I saw something else. And these are the two letters, but I spoke it before my letters went to the hospital. I spoke it and told him I want him off. Everything. I am the overseer of his health. Then I had no idea he had called and put that on my phone. I was like, wow, wonderful. So as long as you bought into what they said, he wouldn't have came out, to be honest with you. It's no way he would have came out. He wouldn't have came out if I would have bought in. Now, they don't have to worry about it. The devil don't care about him. He would have put what they did and put it in there and oh, you got pneumonia and all this. They would have did that. You see? That's why it had to come out from who that's why it had to step out of him to me. He said the weak, the strong bear the infirmity of the weak. Don't he say that? You see? You see how one has to take on what the weak cannot take on. See, that's why I say when my son went saying that how is it you making it about you? Stand down. It ain't about you either. You know, it's just so much chaos when people are in critical condition where people thinking they're not gonna see them anymore. They not gonna say, I love you when I ain't never said it a day in my life. I'm not gonna be able to hug you and you never hug me a day in your life. You know what I'm saying? Oh, now I feel, it's about them feeling bad for not being who they thought they were or who they wanted to be with the individual. And oh, this person's sick and they might be okay. Went called up all kind of people. It just don't make any sense. But the right hand prevailed, as it has always done, even in letting the people of Pharaoh, when they was in captives, letting them part in the sea. That was that right hand, y'all. And we today standing around here talking about, yeah, it was his right hand, Christ, who was present at the beginning and helped created everything he said, let. And it was his power. Let it come forth. So that's the medicine that I was speaking of. And you all are anybody get the main thing is the what did I say? The cold is feverish and feeling cold when you know you're not cold. It's place that rolled on you and you lose your taste, not your taste. You use appetite. You don't want nothing to eat. You don't want to eat at all. At all. This man didn't eat for what 10 days. You don't want to eat at all. And you cold chills, appetite, you don't have no appetite, and feverish. And when it all said and done, take you 4 at least, wait 4 hours to 5 hours, take 4 more, wait 4 hours or 5 hours, 4 more, 4 on at least 12 altogether in a 4 in within a 12-hour period. Now to get all that stuff, a lot of that stuff up out of you. to where you might have the desire to eat something or to. He was okay. He was getting okay, and when we left, I found out that he had some issues on his job, and he was really trying to stop from going to his job because he had an issue, a fight with a couple of people at his job, and he was battling with that mentally, you know. And I think that's what made him go into the hospital. When he went into the hospital, then it become not about him, but about me. Because now the job, I have to clear up the whole issue, transferred from one job to the other. Just so much stuff that still yet, y'all is going to use me to see it through. But it's just a battle when you knew that if you had to go in this hospital, what are they going to do? And then here today, I ain't go over there today, but yesterday, all you heard, oh, they did, all from the time you there talking about the hospital. I don't want to hear all that. What they did wrong, what they did. Look, I didn't even want to hear it and left. I don't even want to hear it because I feel that the enemy will, and he will, you all, and hear me as a prophetess in the wilderness. He will come through my family, and that's how he's going to come. He's going to come through my family. But if it had not been from the Most High Yah, it putting the endurance spirit in me to be upheld at all times, knowing this. See, he don't come to me and tell me they're gonna be your stumbling block or they're gonna be your issue to try to bring burdens on you. He already prepared me. He told me that over and over and over. So I just have to trust that the only help I have is his right hand, and trust in that continually. See, I'll be okay. I'll be okay. And I want to tell y'all, if you're walking in the light and all this stuff that's going on, and Sister Deborah talking about what's going to happen in this day, it ain't going to affect you. Yeah, we're going to have those issues in the family because the Bible speaks of it. The book speaks of it, and the Ruach will teach you of it, of what the book says about this day. But know that they're not going to just have their way with us. And that's what you got to come to understand. That's where the good is. That's where the best. He saved the best for last, in a sense. So therefore, don't think that all these hardcore issues that's going on, or Sister Deborah talk about, or other people talk about, that it's going to tear on you. No. Not if you walking in the light. Because the light going to always let you know every time a darkness come before you. Every time a darkness come before you. And now I'm gonna give y'all a little more testimony of what actually took place. Now that the Most High is kind of revealing something to me that I didn't know. And he waited till I get on here to reveal it to me because I didn't know it. So I'm going to go on and see it. I was in Texas on the 23rd, 24th, 25th, and 26th. The 25th, I remember looking at my son, and I said, oh, he won't be home no time soon. And then it said, yes, he will, to see about Charles, to come to Charles' funeral. That's his dad. That was confusing. He will be coming home to see about Charles, to Charles' funeral. Let me just stop trying to make it pretty, because it's not. He said that he will be coming home to Charles' funeral. So, I don't know if I told you all, when anything happens, and this is a gift I had when I was younger, I always receive a message from Yah. I always do. I call it preparation, preparing me. And I thought when I was in Texas on the 25th, when it said that, I'm just not thinking, because the first time my son called and told me his dad wasn't there. And I was like, oh, I wonder, where did he go? What did he? Then I called the first hospital and they say he was there. And I'm like, why is he there? It didn't dawn on me. It did not dawn on me what was said to me on the 25th. But guess what I did? I'm going to go on, might as well tell y'all the truth. I went before the Father. And I said, okay, you didn't give it to me in the vision. You didn't give it to me in the dream. Father, Yah, you didn't warn me. What is this? That's why I felt it was coming after me. Because when Yah, something's warning, something gonna happen, he gives me a warning. In the dream, in the vision, or he tells me spiritual wise, this is gonna happen. Like he told me at my son's house on the 25th of December. I said, looked at child and I said, oh, he ain't gonna be home no time soon. And he said, yes, he will at Charles' funeral, to Charles' funeral. That was my warning, y'all. That was my warning. That was the warning. Now watch this here. I'm sitting here saying, but you didn't warn me. You didn't tell me. He know how I act. He know how I ain't got no sense. Because moment I feel that he didn't warn me, I go straight to the altar. Oh, Father, in the name of Yeshua HaMashiach, you didn't warn me. You didn't tell me this was going to happen. You didn't tell me this was going to happen. And then he showed me straight through. Don't you remember when I said this? When I showed you this? Don't you remember when this here took place? What did I tell you? And I always had to repent. Always, because I always catch it. Now, this has happened to me several times where I felt he didn't give me the warning or the upper head of what's going to happen, because he's been doing it to me all my life. So when I don't get the warning, I'm like, okay, Father, what went on? This same thing. I said, he's in the hospital. I said, Father, after I talked to my daughter, my sons, and telling everybody he was at the hospital and so and so and so and so, I said, okay, Father, what happened? What happened with this? You didn't say nothing to me. You didn't warn me. He said, yes, I did. Yes, I did. Remember when you looked at your son and you thought that, oh, he ain't coming home for a long time. And what was said to you? He'll come for Charles' funeral. That's what it said. On the 25th of December. So I erased that. All that was blocked. I'm here asking the Most High, why ain't you warn me? Why ain't you? He did. He didn't give me the 3, 4, 5 warnings like he normal, but he said something very quiet, as if it's at a distance. It's at a distance. So 2 days later, my son called, Mama, you busy? I said, no. He said, Kiana, she has the cold. I said, oh, no. Is she in hospital? Is she at home? Oh, she at home. He said, you got a minute to talk? I said, yeah. He said some things to me I have never, ever, ever in my life heard nobody talk to me like that. Let known to my son. That's the same one I said wasn't going to be able to come home. Then going to tell me how he going to kill me if anything happened to his dad. Baby, you are a strange son and he's an estranged dad. So what are you talking about? That ain't what I said to him on the phone, but I'm just still saying. When I let him talk and say everything he had to get out, when I got ready to talk, he didn't even listen. He kept on talking. So I just hung up. That's the same one that I said won't be coming home. And then it says, yes, he will. So what that leads me up to believe why I'm talking to you, the Father gave it to me again, as if it's firm. That means that what I'm doing right now regarding Charles is what I've known to do. And that's take care of the sick. Be there to help and to do the best that I know how. But now that my son made that statement that he made to me, those words and what he said, he might have to eat them. You see? So I'm sitting there, I'm just listening to what I'm saying to you all, and it just all of a sudden said to me, remember the warning? I did give you one when you was on the 25th, when you was looking at my son. And I was saying he wasn't going to come home no time soon. He's telling me to put those pictures together. No one knows You all know it. What he told me at the house in Texas. No one else knew. I'm telling you all. And as I'm telling you all, the spirit of the Most High said, "See that you got the warning." As if I've given you a warning. That was one of the warnings. Now he said it to me since he been out the hospital, but I never really. I'm not riding too hard on it because I see him getting well. I see him eating, moving about, and so on. You see, he don't look like he's sick anymore. Okay. So now I'm just going to have to wait on the Most High Yah and continue to do what I'm doing, getting his transfer from one job to the other, go down there and find out what took place. Oh, yes, Sister Deborah, you have to go down. I got to go down to find out what's going on. So I have to go down there and in that, I'm also put in a transfer for him so he can go closer to where he lives. Uh, and I went to get his medicine. I've set his medicine apart when he's supposed to take. His daughter and son is there to monitor it. I made all kind of like tuna, uh, chopped up fruit because he loves chopped up fruit, smothered chicken and mashed potatoes. That's what he wanted the first day he got out. Just a lot of stuff that I made up and made them into trays so he could be able to just, his daughter can go in there and just get it heated and he have it. And it's not junk food, it's real food. She said he eating it up. I know he is because yesterday, the day before yesterday, I was over there all night and he was eating up. So that's a good sign to where before he went into the hospital, he wasn't eating at all, like zip, wouldn't even drink water. So uh, I give God all the praise and honor and glory for who he is all by himself. Uh, so that's the whole overall of what actually is taking place in my neck of the woods, life itself. So I hope I leave something that would help someone in any way, because that's what's important is people not feel that they're the only one that's out there that's going through. Because believe it or not, if I am a prophetess in the wilderness, it has to come to my door first. So I don't walk around here acting like, hey, I'm all that and something. I'm not. It ain't. It's coming to your door. It ain't coming to mine. I got it going on. No, 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 no. Don't ever have that mindset. It can come to your front door, your back door, through the windows, all kind of ways. And I thank the Most High for my, I would say, trials, because truly it comes to make you strong, and that's strong in Him, strong in Him, not strong in yourself, but strong in Him. And if you're strong in Him, you can walk. You can move about and know everything's going to be all right. But it's strong in Him. It is strong in Him. In Him. In Him. And in Him. All right. Praise the Most High Yah. So if anyone have any questions about anything that maybe is going on in their neck of the woods, meaning their community, their house, uh, family, friends, praise the Most High Yah. Thank you. Oh yes, but see the thing about it, I thought I I thought I sent it out. I try to do it on YouTube, the page. Y'all watch it. Watch the film that I'm gonna drop. I'm gonna drop it tonight. Just watch it. It's a short one, and then you're gonna say, "Well, that's what Sister Deborah did." The sad part is about it. 2009, no, 2019, like in June, you had all these doctors and nurses forming together, And they went straight in on all this mess, bringing it to the core, pulling that mess out. They was just everywhere. But now they have formed, I think they're now in a lot of them resigned from their medical field because this is too much for them to handle. It's too much for them to handle that this thing can actually be taking place. These things in the world can be taking place in this country. Oh no, not in this country. We controlled all this time. You mean they do? No, oh no, they can't handle it. So they decide to come together, the scientists and the doctors, and they breaking this thing down. And they where they're at. And I'm gonna be honest with you. They're really good at where they're at and figuring it out. But guess what? Not good enough, because until they understand the Most High Yah, and they got the teaching from him, then they really don't understand. They don't know where they at. Okay. They know as much as possible. They know that, like I know, like I knew, but I learned mine through the Ruach Bioco. It's biochemical. It's not what they doing. It's not the V. They made it that. You see? Something that was created for, hey, get over and sit down. Ice. Get over and sit down. Over there and sit down. So they made this, and the scientists, they found out that they made it and that they got a lot of clout over the world with this thing. So they decided to come together and stick together in this. You can stick together all you want. If you ain't got Yah in the midst, you still in big trouble. But they do really well with educating people. That's their only means of their strength, is to educate. But what they don't understand, the people can't be educated. When they're educating people, it's only for those who are in the light that can see what is actually taking place and what they're saying. And they're nailing it. I know they nailing it from what you can really see actually taking place. They're nailing it, but they don't see the spiritual of spirit and truth behind it. You see what I'm saying? That is the power behind what was, what is, and what shall be. They don't have that. They're trying to put all the pieces. Why are they doing this? They're going to destroy the world with it. That's how they are. They looking at it. So they found out the medicine. The father told me when it first came out, them bodies was going to them freezers, and he said they are not dying, Deborah. He said they are being murdered. And then I asked him, I said, so is some people in that freezer still alive? You know what he told me? Yes, but they're not going to be for long. I'm telling you, he told me, he says there were people in them big trucks, them big old freezer that were still alive. But because we fed this power of this beast, and he was able to get in there, do what he wanted, and get away with it. And then he keep coming back with a little more here and a little more there until he bring the big whammy in. Oh, they coming in, baby. They coming. Because you as people, not you on my platform, but not on my platform, on my page, but this platform, they feed it. People all over the world is feeding it, making it something that it ain't, especially those who went out and took the jab and nobody even asked them to get it. Volunteer. Want to keep their job. Oh, it's going to make me better than you because I got it and you don't. I'm going to be able to do this and you're not. These doctors got together and they told the people what was killing the people. And I said, now see how y'all told me that the people weren't dying, they were being murdered. And then they turned around and brought up their study, went all the way back in 2015 and remembered the Ebola and the outbreak in Africa and told you that that's what they was giving them. That's why they had so, I don't know if they said 3,000 or 300,000 Africans died. It was way more than 3,000. I know that it was. But he said, they were saying this is the medicine that they gave them. And they died within 3 to 4 days. They knew this. Africa have always been the testing ground. They always going over there using them people to kill, steal, and destroy human race. They always did it. They always did it. Y'all know that they always did that. And then everybody want to make it the motherland. How you going to be the motherland of what? You can't be no motherland. all that voodoo and witchcraft and Satanism over there on that land. How can you dare sit and you sit and watch the people destroy their children and women and wouldn't give them food and water? Don't say, I don't want to hear that mess about, oh, he was just telling y'all that, lying to y'all. Yeah, they was lying to us. But the reality is, if you sit back and do your study, a lot of them really join armies to keep the poor people from eating and food and medicine. Y'all, the planes were delivering all the food. The government was taking it from the people. And when you look at the government, you see all these people of their nation killing the people for the government. Oh, y'all, it just goes for, it's so sickening. And then they had audacities called a motherland. Do you know what the motherland is? The one that brings forth life. The ground that brings life. So it has to match the womb of a mother who bring in life. Crazy people. But back to what I was saying. Be careful out here and don't be too misled. And I'm saying, I shouldn't say too misled. Don't be misled by all this stuff that's on these them. I don't care how long somebody been on here. If they ain't teaching y'all spirit and truth, and they ain't trying to direct you to a light, and directing you to the light will get their focus off of them and on Yah. They ain't gonna do that. They ain't gonna give him the glory. They ain't gonna get him the light, the lights. They ain't gonna get him the subscribers. Why? Because they want it on them and them only. And then have the audacity to try to, you can tell who they are because they try to hear what everybody else is saying on their platform so that they can go back and teach a message to counteract. And they just so silly. They've been doing it for so long. This is a part of their righteous within them. And as if y'all don't see what they doing, don't understand what they role playing. They are in the dark. There are agents. There are people who are doing things pretty much against their own people. Because if a person is not teaching you spirit and truth and not teaching you to go into the direction of the light, what are they teaching you? To go into their darkness. And that's where you're going. Praising and honoring them. Ain't giving y'all no glory. Ain't giving y'all no honor. And ain't giving y'all no praise. Because you're busy getting it to them. So I was saying about this medicine was the same Dr. Powell was in cahoots with them developing this medicine. This medicine was meant. This medicine was meant for 2019, 2020, 2000, and on and on and on. This is here is what's took all those lives. You all didn't understand when everybody was going to the hospital, they were dying. Everybody was staying at home was living. How could everybody in the hospital be dying and the people that's at home is beating it? It didn't make any sense. No one questioned it. No one asked the question. No one said, wait a minute, that don't make sense. Wait a minute, something wrong with that. Millions of thousands of dollars in the hospital and you dying. Why? Because they make sure they put this in you. And if this is my last video, let it be. Because this, I would rather save 1, 2, 3, or whatever. If anything you happen to you have to go in there because they want to label you as whole. Tell them no. They coming after those who are 65 and older, obese, and those that are dealing with respiratory issue. They scare you so bad, y'all. And this is what they put you on. This close and shut down that kidney. That kidney begin to flood and the other organs begin to die. So it makes it look like some type of pneumonia or respiratory thing failure. They've done really good destroying people lives. And then you get people up there. My grandma died from cold. My daughter died from cold. You a fool. You a fool. Because why is it that the Most High allowed them? Because they know that he couldn't get you to see what they were doing. They shutting their whole system down so this can manifest. See, when they shut the system down, this can really work really fast. Close all the organs down. So tonight, look that word up, and they might have put everything good for it about it. But I'm gonna swing them tapes of the doc, hoping I can get it on here. And you know what? I try to put it on YouTube 3 times, and they put it on Facebook 6 times. It never went through. I tried to my daughter's phone, it won't go through. I tried to send it to my son's phone, it won't go through. I put it on my Gmail, it wouldn't go through. Something is wrong. That video is real. I wish it was a way that I can, and I'm gonna work on that tonight to see if it be the Father's will that I could press that on. I know they're gonna cut me. I don't care. Cut me up and cut me down. You just ain't gonna be able to cut me out. Okay. So it's all well with me. But that there is a must. Do not portray. Ice, I'm gonna get you. You want to say something? Come here. Nope, I ain't finna play ball playing. Look what he got. Come on here. Come up here. Nope, they can't see you from here. Come here. Turn around. I want you to look into the camera so they can see you what you got in your mouth. Look, come up here. Come up here so they can see you. Look what he got in his mouth. Look, turn around. Turn around so they can see you. Look. He thinking I'm getting ready to play some ball tonight. I have never in my life had a dog that wants so much love, wants so much affection. Never. I don't believe in giving animals that type of affection. You know, I'm not infection, affection. I don't believe in giving dogs and animals that type of. I never did. I believe animals are animals and they belong outside. That's what I believe. I don't think they should be treated like humans. So when this here dog be wanting me to pick him, look, no, I'm giving this ball. He wants me to pick him up. Look at him. He wants you to love on him and hug him and rub him all day. No, I put him downstairs in the cage. You want to be loved on? I put you in that cage. Ain't nobody. Say hi. Say, can they see you? He said he wants to do a video right quick. Look into the camera so they can see you. He wants to do a video. He thinks, okay, go, get down. And he don't down. He's a pure breed pit bull. Look at him rolling his eyes at me like, I ain't finna play no ball in this house. Go. But yes, he think that life is about. Do you hear me? Stop it. He think life is about I'm gonna block him from me. Stop. He think life is about me playing with him all day. He really do. He loves to play football. He loves to play ball. He loves to try to tackle you. He loves to do all that. But this little old lady don't love to do that no more. So I appreciate everyone coming by and joining me on the live chat. I hope I helped someone out in what is actually taking place with this thing today. Do your study on that name and the history behind it and how Fauci, he was partaking in the making this, and it's only created to kill and kill only. That's it. That's it. And the sad part is about it, when you got a loved one or even yourself is sick, you fall into that sickness where it has taken over you to the point where you just give in to it. Oh yeah, this is what this is for. That's they know it. Because when the people are running into the hospital thinking the hospital gonna save you, and you know that all these people was losing their lives, why are you running into the hospital? That's one thing this one doctor said. He said, I will advise everyone to stay out of the hospital. When he said that, I was like, wow, he mean it. He said, you need to not go. The last place you need to go is to the hospital. A lot of this can be taken care of at home. This is a bio, because I think that even some of the symptoms remain with you. That's why I know it is a bio. It is not what they want to make it to believe to be. It's something that was created to destroy. And it's going to do its job because they're going to keep coming and keep coming and keep coming. Why isn't it? This is the questions to you all. Why is it people in the world, in the whole world, won't counteract or won't say, well, wait a minute. Why is it we just all of a sudden start to have this and then the dealt? Now this old one. You know, why is it all these keep coming? What is no one question? No one doubting it. No one is saying no, no, no. No one is doing anything. Everybody's saying yes, yes, yes. Oh, yeah, it's serious. It's bad. It's taking lives. It's real. I heard this one sister on the web, because I think somebody, a friend of hers or whoever it was, family member, had caught something. I put it like that. And instant, I ain't never seen her as sick as she was. This is the first time I think she have ever been this sick. And I mean, she just going down. Then you hear her come talking about, and she went outside for a walk. We took her for a drive or something like that. All of a sudden, she started feeling better. Wait a minute, hold up. If you cater to it, it's going to give you what you want. Okay? But if you just treat this as if it is a bio, it was created. It was created to destroy and to bring you down. First of all, your mind, to make you feel that, hey, oh, I got something. Oh, it's bad. It's bad. We have made coal powerful. The Father in heaven said, we done that as people, as human being across the world, has made coal powerful. And that's the only way it gets its strength. That's the only way it have gotten this strength. And it's going to continue because people keep giving it the power, making it something that it is not, that it never was and never can be. But everybody wants to give it the power. It's not even asking for the power. It's just standing there saying it's this. And we sitting here giving it all the power. Oh, I got to go down there and get my booster. Now they talking about getting the fourth one. And a lot of them already start heading for the fourth. They're going to get the fourth one in other countries already. And they're going to keep on. And they're going to keep on till they're going to realize, wait a minute. Don't let them cut on that. Don't let them bring it to the level where they want to bring it right now. They got you then. Because all they have to do is cut on what they need to cut on. And everybody that has gotten it is going to realize, yeah, you got it. Now you got it. Because there's something to this. There's something to this. Because they're going to start doing things as far as not jobs. You ain't going to be able to have your job. You ain't going to be able to buy. You ain't going to be able to do this. You ain't going to do that. Praise the Most High in the midst of it. Because you know that he's not going to let you fall in it. That's what I'm saying to you. Praise him in the midst of it, because you know that, okay, if I'm desiring to walk in the light, Father, you're going to take me from here. You're going to walk with me. Because I want to be walking with you. I don't want to be in darkness. I want to be in light. And when Sister Deborah says light and walking in light and not in darkness, when Sister Deborah talking about walking in spirit and truth, you know what? You remember that example of the 10 virgins? One had what? And the other one didn't have. Oil in a lamp to give what? Light. So in the darkness, which is the dark times and hard times and evil times, and he came unexpected, bam, those who had the light walked therein. So I make it sound much relaxing in the spirit when I say light. But the reality, the biblical have gave you the ideal of light from the beginning to the end, letting you know who's who and what's what, who's walking in darkness, what darkness represent as far as not like just the night, but darkness in evil and wicked. Okay, versus the light is Yah, the light of the world. You are. You see, just all those things is so many scriptures telling you about the same light Sister Deborah talking about. I'm just trying to get people to the point where they won't have to depend on darkness. They can depend on the light and just keep their focus on the light and walk therein. It'll show them the way. Because a lot of them, like the half been light and had oil and the other one didn't have, They need no. The Most High said in this day it's going to be a small remnant. So I do know that the small remnant is going to be a lot of women. I do know that without a doubt. I know that now more. I'm more sure of that than anything regarding those that are going to the promised land. It's going to be men, but it's going to be majority women. Those the one he's going to clean up and purge and make holy. They're going to be the one he's going to take over to the promised land. He's going to take them over there, and when he gets them over there, he's going to also talk. He's going to bring forth those them dry bones he was talking to Ezekiel about. Ezekiel, because he talks about how he's going to bring forth an army of men, big army, and bring them over there to the promised land. So know that small remnant would have to be women. Yeah, it would have to be women because he said he's going to destroy the men and the mighty men so of Israel. He said he's going to do that. So we can make it whatever we want to make it. We can say whatever we want to. But when we have respect for what he said, especially if the Ruach teach you it, if the Ruach come to you, the Ruach can't come to Sister Deborah and be your teacher. The Ruach wants the relationship with you and him one-on-one. So he can show you exactly what he's shown Deborah. That's it. That's it. Sister Deborah can't walk in the light for nobody. And nobody can't walk in the light for Sister Deborah. We have to walk in the light for our each, and we can't even do it for our kids. We can't do it for our wife nor our husband. That's why it's so important that if we're going to pick up and follow Yah, we pick up and follow the Yah and let our husband or our wife and our children see our walk in the light. And then they decide, I don't want to sit in this darkness. I want to walk in the type of light she's walking in. You know what I'm saying? But we have to be the example. We can't be the opposite. And it's really hard to be the example is because you got so many haters in your household. You got so many haters in your families, in your neighborhood, in your community, everywhere you go. You got so many haters because they are not the light. You see, and they don't know that they're not the light, but they know that there's something that they're not, and they will hate on you because you are. You know what I'm saying? So it's just so much out here that causes one to hate on he that is walking in the righteous gate, you know, in the gate, the narrow gate. And he said it would be like that. He said it. He didn't say it was going to be easy. But another thing I'm going to be focusing on is the gospel of Christ is at hand. I'm going to state that as much as I possibly can because it's saying his right hand is the gospel, the good news is his power is at hand. That means y'all know you look what he just did for me. Look what he just did for me. He brought him out. So his power is at hand. So the gospel shall be preached all over the nation. And that is a warning that the power of Yah is at hand. So listen to that. Then the end. That's what it says in Matthew 24. And then the end. Now, what's this power? Did not I tell you, he said, that the fire is being released. The fire, he's bringing fire. That's his power. Because what we did, we denied the judgment, as we do all the time. We have fully denied the judgment of the Most High Yah on the house of Israel. And we decided that, wait a minute, he ain't coming. We ain't doing it. We the Hebrew Israelite. We can do what we want to do. We can do this and we can do that. We can marry. We can do this. And you doing all that. And in spite what my word said, that the house of the judgment on the house of Israel, and you ignored that. Oh, wait a minute. Hold up. Wait a minute. Let me give you a little taste of this and see if you're going to be able to uphold. Okay, you want to think that the judgment was okay for you to continue, and that's why it's so much wicked among our nation, even though we are in 100 times trillion in denial, and that's why it keeps going on. But the fire is not going to stop it. It's going to try you by the fire so you can recognize, hey, now this is not what I want to be in. I want to be ready. I don't want to be over in this here. But the fire is going to try you at your mouth and at your spirit. So you'll be able to know which side you're really on. Because you're thinking that you can trick these people to think you in the light because you think you got subscribers. You've been on the devil platform for years and you've been running your mouth. You've been getting the praise. You've been getting the honor. You've been getting the likes. You've been getting everything that y'all haven't got nothing out of. And that's what brings people to this mindset and start boosting themselves thinking they are Yah's gift to the world. And they don't understand Yah has allowed you to reach that destiny, just like he allowed the Pope. He allowed Roman Catholics. He allowed the beast. See, that's what people don't understand. You thinking you all that and some, but look at the beast. He said he created them for the days of evil. The wicked for the days of evil. I mean, he created it. So everything's still going according to his will. But the horses was let go so that the will of the beast can take its course. Each horse that was released in Revelation is some connection to the beast having its way. So that's what I'm telling y'all. You better be careful in how you're dealing with the Most High Yah. You better get him in you, not out of you, teaching you. He don't need to be out of you on these Facebook and Instagram and all these platforms. He need to be in you, teaching you. He need to be leading you the way, you see. And you need to be giving and gave others good information. Give to somebody. Do something for somebody. Give your ear to hear. Give your mouth as a speaker of the Most High Yah. Give finances. Do something for somebody. Don't think everything revolves around you. How you get blessed is how you bless others. And what do you bless others with? Give and gave. Give them your time. Visit them in the prison. Visit them in the hospital. Give them something to eat. You see, it's a lot of ways you can give to people and represents Yah, give and gave. Everything he did, it was under give and gave. And I was just telling y'all earlier about when he said you knock and the door is open. What's the door going to be open for? Why is he going to open the door? Because he want to give you something. He said you seek and you shall find. Why? Because when you find it, he want to give you something. And he said you ask and it shall be given. Given. That's obvious. You see how everything of his word runs into give and gave. And just imagine being on this earth thousands of years and we portray his love in the sick word love that we run around here trying to portray. And we ain't meeting it nowhere. So he couldn't be love if this is what we call love. You see? So he would have to be something else that was placed, that was covered up so we wouldn't know the truth. And that is give and gave. So when you read his word, watch how you read it and you're going to see the word give and gave. Wait a minute, Father Yah, everything you did, everything you doing, and everything you're going to do is going to be still wrapped in give and gave. So when he went to telling the men, love your wife as Christ, not Yeshua, Christ loved the church. What did Christ do? He gave his life. What you mean he gave his life? Because when Yeshua went down, okay, and he came back up, who you think raised him up? Christ. Christ laid him down. Christ risen him up. Remember Yeshua said, no man took my life. I laid it down. He laid it down in Christ. Christ rose it up out of the dead. You see? We need, and who is that Christ? The Father's right hand. It's a lot we need to learn about that. And once you can seal that, anything that happened during these evil days, in these last days, call on that right hand. You know that power that's not activated in you, you watch what that right hand do to you. You watch whatever situation you get in. If you get in a disagreement, if you get in a place where you can't pay this and you can't afford this and you don't have this, call on that right hand and then come tell Sister Deborah what it's like. I don't want to hear it until you try. And once you try, then you come back and tell Sister Deborah, who is this right hand? And just imagine all these thousands of years we've been talking about something else instead of what that power is capable of doing. And I even heard when it says that Yeshua didn't come down just with word. It says he came with power. Who is that power? It's the beloved, the only begotten, the Son of Yah, his right hand. Meaning Emmanuel, Yah with us. That's how he came as Yah, right hand. He came to connect with Yeshua to complete the mission through the right hand. Yah gave him the power, his word, but he came with power as well. So if we could work on give and gave, learning about that right hand power, we'll be in there. Because once you learn about that right hand power, then that part that Yeshua was saying that he does miracles and signs and you shall do greater, then that will be fully activated and then you begin to use it for what it is, power. See, that's all it says. You ain't gonna be able to use it with no word love. You're gonna have to identify this right hand. You're gonna have to know that this right hand carries the power that rests therein. And that's why no one ever wondered what happened to all that miracles and signs and wonder Yeshua was talking about. Why ain't nobody talk about that? Why ain't nobody preach that? No, why ain't nobody teaches that? Because they could care less. They could care less. They think that stuff has ceased. They think that's somewhere in the woods somewhere. They think that's gone. They don't understand it's within you. It is the power that rests within you that have not the faith to believe that it's actually there. So it just sits there. But learn more about that right hand, that stretched out arm, and learn more about give and gave, because you'll find out that all these thousands of years, this book been here, and it's just told the truth from the beginning to the end. It was just telling you that Yah was give and gave. How do we get what we got? How do we teach what we teach? How do we speak the way that we speak? And this here is clearly saying something different. That's why we have to be taught by the Ruach. He said, trust in no man. He's talking about that word. Don't trust man to teach this word. Trust the Ruach HaKodesh to be your teacher. And that's another lesson in itself. So I appreciate everyone coming out. The right hand of the Father. So he on the right hand of the Father. That's his right hand. You see? Now, you see how you put that there? A lot of people don't care for that verse, that scripture, is because they don't see it like that. But you notice it says, if ye then be risen with Christ, seek those things which are above. So when people are seeking subscribers and likes and, oh, you're good message. Oh, I praise you. You're a good teacher and all that. You're getting the glory and honor down here on earth. He said the things which what? Above. Those are the eternal gifts. Those are what we should be working on. No. Go. So this is what we should be working on. Instead, we want the praises and the glories and the honor for us now. And we're that's what we're after. But see, it's telling you which are above, where Christ sitteth on the hand of Yah. So Christ sitteth, and he's on the right hand. Not the right throne or the right seat, but the right hand. You see what I'm saying? They missed it, baby. They missed it, and they're gonna miss it. The power of Yah is his right hand. Go all you have to start from the beginning. It don't even have to take you there. Just keep reading. Now you'll see where they have smeared. I think it's only two. It might be one, but I think I give it two where, let's say, for instance, there are scriptures even in the new where it's telling you Christ's name first. Why? Because he wants you to know it took the power to make that be. It says Christ Yeshua instead of Yeshua Christ. It's letting you know the power was heavy to make that be. So the power would have to come before Yeshua, not Yeshua coming before the power. So you'll run up on that too. Thank you. And only one thing I just ask of you all: try that power in a way in which you understand it. If you, after reading it about the right hand and the stretched out arm, and you see that it is the right hand of the Father, it is all power, then therefore, once he has already, which most of you, I believe, already did enter in, you'll start to say, well, okay, I got this thing in me. So now that I know what it is, I can call on it. How can you call on that which you know not? But once you know that he's there, then he would have to be activated. He has to be able to take his place. But if you don't know that it's there, how can it be proven to be what it is if you don't know what it is? And I think that's what has happened for thousands of years. And I believe that it's still connected to Yah. I think he has his hand in that all the way, no doubt. No doubt whatsoever. Because I'm be like, do you know how many mountains could have been moved knowing this? And if you get sick or anything, anybody gets sick, once you come to that understanding where that power is really coming from, use that. And then come back and talk to Sister Deborah. Tell Sister Deborah what it was like. Use it. I mean, I don't care what situation you get in, use it. Once you believe and understand through the Ruach HaKodesh that it is all power, that right hand, call it out. Because I couldn't understand. I'm like, Father, wait a minute. You never called out Christ in the old. At least I haven't seen it to be the word Christ or the word as they say that is Christ. But you definitely called it a right hand and a stretched out arm. That was Christ all the time. So look how we bypass that. All these thousands of years, not knowing that Christ exists way back in the beginning when he said, let my power made it come to play. Why you know his power, Christ was present? Because he turned around and said, and it was good. As if he let power did it. Oh, it's good. Let power did it. Oh, it was good. Let power did it. Oh, it was good. You see? You see that? So he ain't saying let it was good. Let it was good. Let it was no. He letting you know that the power was present to bring that forth. And guess what? It was good. You see? But they don't see it like that. They ain't gonna understand it like that because darkness is the overseer of the knowledge in which they lacks. Then again, he tells me you need not, don't give them no okay. Don't give them no room to be lacking knowledge and be ignorant in knowledge. When I said they reject knowledge. So rejecting knowledge means, you guys, that they know the difference. They know right. They know what's true. But he said they reject it. So I will reject them and their children. You see? So it ain't like people, a lot of things like us coming over here. What happened to all that we had when we came over on them ships? Why wasn't we humming? Why wasn't we praising the Most High Yah? Why wasn't we uplifting him on them ships? Calling on the mighty name of the Most High Yah. Why? That's how wicked we had. Our hearts were messed up from the floor up. And then when we stepped up over here, the heathen said, wait a minute, ain't you all the people of the Most High Yah? See, they knew who we was when we came off that ship. They had to, but then it said that we began to profane and dishonor his name. right in the midst of the heathen. See, we just messed up on the floor and we need help. And y'all know we need some help. But Sister Deborah don't want to hold you any longer. I'm going into 3 hours and I didn't even see that coming. But I will say I appreciate you all coming out to and I if you had any questions or anything, I still got a few minutes to answer any questions, or someone wants to I think everybody, I think that name, I want that. Now that might cut my video off, but you got the name now. Write it down. I'm telling you, get it. And I know that if those that have been on here that have had loved ones, they would tell you this is the first thing they put them on and they died. They would tell you. I'm just showing you how the gate that leads to righteous and very few shall find is sad. It's sad. Very few shall find the truth of this. You get what I'm saying? Very few shall find what is righteous, what is spirit and truth. Very few shall find the right hand and the stretched out arm being Christ. Very few shall find give and gave. That's what he's meaning. Life. And very few shall find, because it's connected to spirit and truth. It's connected to what is righteous. They're not going to find it. Deborah didn't say that. Sister Deborah didn't say that. But Yah himself. Everybody going to find the broad gate. Everybody going to want to go in there. He's telling you that's where they want to go. They don't want to go in the one that leads to life. Eternal life. Spirit and truth. Righteous. They don't want that. And that's why very few shall find truth. Many right here today, their parents, their loved ones, their daughters, their sons, they're putting them on this, and that's what's taking them out. The count is not there, you guys. The count is not there. And that is what have a question mark here. Where are they getting these numbers? It's not there. Where are they getting these numbers? And as they push on, they're going to start putting people down. They're going to start putting people down. All right. Okay, you guys, I appreciate you in the live chat. Thank you for coming out. I think that's pretty much it, huh? Yeah. Because you'll be able to understand people better when they're speaking spirit and truth. You'll understand where they're coming from, where they're going, and how they're going to get. You might not know how they're going to get there, but you don't understand where they're coming from. It's a feeling. You know, the spirit of discerning. That spirit of discerning, it puts you in a state of mind to discern the spirit. See, it ain't coming to discern the flesh. We know it's evil. It's coming to discern whether you good or evil. You see what I'm saying? That's what the discerning spirit is. And then it's separate from the spirit where he say, try the spirit by the spirit. Once you receive the Ruach HaKodesh, you have the power to try the spirit by the spirit. You notice we talking about spirits, right? The endurance gift is a spirit. Faith gift is a spirit. Long suffering gift is a spirit. For his name's sake, you would have to be in spirit. Everything is spirit, but we turn spirit away along with truth because they work hand in hand. So we turn them away and say, no, we don't want that. We want it this way. And that's why many don't accept the Ruach HaKodesh, and the Ruach HaKodesh don't come and abide in them because they got their own truth. They got their own wisdom. They got their own knowledge, and they got their own understanding out of their flesh and been teaching for years. And y'all don't, you know what the good thing about it, when he was telling me, I don't even bother them. He said he leave them like that. Let them go on. Because they have done it so many years. Right is wrong and wrong is right when it come down to telling them any type of spiritual guidance or spirit and truth or give and gave or right hand and stretched out arm. They can't see that. They don't see it. And they won't see it. They're going to keep on going that way. And Yah is saying it's time to turn away from the dark and just keep your focus on the light. Because that's really, and then you can go right back to the Old Testament and the New Testament, and you're going to see the word light is telling you, go in the direction of the light. You have to go into that direction. You can't go into the darkness. Now, he can separate the two, and then already told us. But why do we still insist on going in the darkness? Because it's meant for us that goes into the darkness. And those that desire, you can just desire the light, and Yah coming for you. That's just it. You desire the light, he coming for you. Because you might not have the strength. You might not have what it takes, but yet you desire. And that's what he mean by a little bit of mustard seed. Faith of a mustard seed. He knows all it takes is for you to have a little pin needle of a light. And I'm coming to get you. I'm coming for you. That just, I love him being like that. I love it. I love him being like that. It makes him beyond what man and woman is. It makes him beyond how flesh is. He has something about himself that just go way, way beyond us. They said, you said what? And they didn't like it. Yep. Amen. I desire his light. Hallelujah. Yes. Hallelujah. Father, Yah, thank you. Yep. And stay with that light, because he even told you as an example of several. It was a lot of examples telling you when he coming. And it's always connects to that which is in the light. Because them 10 virgins, I'm like saying, why did they even trim? Wait till the last minute to even trim. But you have to think, they still had what it takes when that door was open and to get up out of there. They had that light. They had the oil in there that gives it light. So when he came that night, bam, they were ready. So I, Sister Deborah, say I appreciate you all, and I will have to cut off from here. You all have a blessed night, and I love you all, and see you next time. Shalom and shalom.